do it in chat. That's fine.
All right, let's see. Looks like that's working. Can people watching hear me? I can't see who all is in chat for the moment.
Yeah.
I'm watching a Disney Plus advertisement currently.
Nice.
I hear everything.
I didn't know you were gonna stop at an
See ya.
advertisement.
Oh, what's up, Austin?
Yeah. I'm just gonna be
Audible.
watching The Mandalorian this whole time. I hope that's cool.
I mean, good show though. I mean,
Yeah.
might as well.
I haven't watched it yet. It's on my list, along with many other things. It's on my list.
Hey, by the
Is it
way, if you ever
what's it?
decide,
Bucky and the Eagle.
Mm-hmm.
You say Clunky and the Eagle?
Bucky,
No,
Bucky.
but the Disney
That
show.
sounds like something you
Falcon
made
and
up.
Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
Thanks. Bucky and the Eagle.
Frick up, Alan.
Honestly, that's a better title. I would have watched that one right
It
away.
is. It is.
That sounds like
Bucky
a
and the
rapping
Flying Man.
vocal, Like
Oh my goodness. By the way, if you ever cancel Disney Plus, they do not give you the rest of the month
Wait.
that you paid for.
Austin, did you
Really?
see Austin? Look,
Yeah.
look. Did
If you
guys see
cancel
Austin?
it,
Yes.
it's done. That's it.
Austin, I actually have to ask you a question. Come here.
Nah, he ain't coming back. That's it.
Can I have your stuff?
Oh my god.
Be more
Have your
specific.
stuff? What stuff? Just your stuff. What stuff? Don't worry about it. Just stuff. No, you can't have Cornelius' shit. Okay. Besides, you can't use it. Not with that attitude. The armor's warlock only, motherfucker.
We have another warlock.
So selfish.
That's so funny. Like you didn't even say it. He was like, "No, you can't have Cornelius' stuff."
I told Austin he ruined my funny bit that I was gonna do. I was gonna run from my room to his room and pop it on screen on his screen. I was like, that'd be so funny, and now I can't do it. It's ruined.
You can
In
just
the
do it next
future.
time. So you just ruined your own bit.
Well, Travis is my bit, so if I want to ruin it, I will.
Okay,
you
Logan.
have.
We have a stream that's supposed to be happening right now. What's happening?
It is happening. This is the stream.
Oh.
Where I tell people, it tells, yeah, hey gamers, didn't see you there.
Oh, hello. No new announcements. They're always on the ticker thing in between the break screens and stuff like that. My ticker. So keep an eye out for those. Subscribe to my
Don't forget
Patreon. I'm going to be doing some more stuff there. And I did a stream, sort of for my Patreon people. All audio sounds great and it's balanced for the first time ever.
Mod, that sounds like fake news.
But we did a fun stream on Saturday that was sort of for my Patreon people, and it's eventually going to become Patreon exclusive stuff, or I'm going to do stuff more exclusive to my Patreon. And we, for an hour and a half, made some NPCs. We went through an exercise I like doing to make some NPCs. Some of them might show up in the game for tonight. We'll see.
That's crazy.
Carson was there, so he'll be able to catch whenever I introduce one of these NPCs.
It was a very fun stream. A lot of great tips. If the bot is up, everybody should go watch it. And I am brimming with excitement to see who shows up because there were some real wild ideas that were thrown around.
One of the things, aspects of the exercise is to, once you kind of get the formula down, to start timing yourself to see how quickly you can make an NPC. Like, that way you train yourself to be able to come up with a character on the fly. And the information you need to run an NPC on the fly. And one of the first ones I did to time myself to see how quickly I could do it, I accidentally, for Sharn, made a goblin mastermind who runs a criminal organization that's comprised entirely of rats, and they perform
How do you
heists.
accidentally do that?
You would be surprised. And then whenever I wrote down personal goal, I was like, wants to marry a rat person. I was like, oh, well, this is getting really bad. Ew, I don't like this NPC. It went downhill really fast.
What a foul thing you've done.
Yeah.
Just trying to understand the inner workings of Steve Buscemi's character in.
I was thinking that exact
Spyro.
same thing.
In what?
Do you think God stays in heaven because he is
Oh,
frightened
He
by
too
his
is afraid of what he's done.
yeah, I feel
Logan's
that now.
Peeking out from his hiding spot, looking upon this lustful goblin criminal.
All right.
So that's what happened in the stream. It was a lot of fun, though. Some good character ideas came up. But besides that, Shadows over Driftchapel is coming back this Friday, and I'm super pumped. We left on a very dramatic cliffhanger the last time, so I hope people are able to come this time.
I was busy.
It's been how long since the last one? About a month or 2 weeks? Or
2 weeks.
A week.
Yeah, not this past Friday, but we played the Friday before that.
Okay, cool.
Yep. We're back on a 2-week schedule now that Drew has finished his move and everything. So yeah, gonna be loads of fun. And tonight, unfortunately, we had to miss last week because I over-committed with my work stuff and I had too many things to do and wouldn't be able to do it all by stream time. Not tonight, though. So we're getting back into another
Now we're streaming until 6 in the morning.
Yep, sorry, Travis. I forgot to tell you. You're gonna be up all night. Same with Xavier. You're gonna...
Cool. I will.
Hey, I have a job now too. I have to do things.
I'm just not used to it. Well, congratulations on the job.
Yeah, look at my background. Everyone is different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's not boxes and things.
I am still unemployed. Let's down a couple Bang energy drinks and do this.
Cool.
Hell yeah, brother!
Thanks for subscribing, Travis. I'm not staying up all night. Travis, if you donate money to me, I will cut the stream short for you.
For
every donate 5 million tangs.
For every $1 Travis donates, the stream will be 1 minute shorter.
1 minute? What the fuck?
Oh my god. So that's it. So we're gonna get back into it. I'm gonna switch over. We do have a slightly new layout. I'm trying to make it easier on myself, make our stream a little bit more colorful and visually appealing, conveying information, all that kind of good stuff. So there's a slightly new layout. Hopefully it works. Hopefully people like it. It might be a little too much. We'll see. This is the first time my players are seeing it because I just finished it right before we started. So we'll see how it looks. Everybody ready? Boom!
Wow.
Gotta wait for that to lay. I don't know.
It feels very like.
Oh boy.
I like it.
I like the color. Like it's very bright and sunny. Like
Yeah,
the red,
and
orange, yellow.
you responded too late as far as what color palette. Well, we can adjust later if we want to change it. But you'll see some cool information presented.
Synthwave. That's the word I was looking for.
I like it. And it matches the little logo thing I made a while back.
What? Nice description for Donovan. Single father.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Sorry, it was Austin.
I see that.
I totally winging it. Baby bladder. Nice.
So you'll see the tiers of information, character name, and there's the actual player name, kind of arc next to the little label.
Single father.
And again, because this was made right before, I didn't get to confirm this information with my players, so it'll probably change next week. I just kind of went with like 2 describing like aspects of their being. So yeah, you'll see all that kind of fun information there.
I can't wait to see these change.
Cool. I like that.
And I chose fonts based off of the characters as well. So Donovan, you have like the newspaper like typewriter font. Xavier Spike has essentially the Star Trek font. Varian has very nice clean cursive.
Why doesn't Alan have Comic Sans?
Alan has Times New Roman because he's playing a lawful good little police officer.
A little police officer.
Oleg's only shouting. I see that.
Yes, Oleg's is very
Enforcer.
blocky. Oleg's is almost like the Impact font, except it's a little crooked and off in certain letters, so it fits.
I thought that was the Rust font.
It actually might be. I think it's some version of the Rust font.
Incredibly.
So yeah, there's that. It'll probably change because I don't like how much of the corner it takes up, but I needed the font to be readable in all the text. So we'll see. But yeah. Oh gosh. Instead of doing a traditional recap, we're gonna sort of do a narrative one.
Mocap. Oh.
The 5 of you boarded Oleg's Sky Coach with only 30 minutes to spare on a polymorph. You have apprehended a suspect, a person of interest, after this most recent murder. Our most recent murder of Iago de
Yes,
Galanda.
Austin, you can borrow this spray. It's in the living room.
After the most recent murder of the house killer, gathering a potential clue. You have your person of interest polymorphed into a toad. You got the Sharn Watch and other Citadel agents brought to the crime scene to continue investigating and doing door duty and things like that, while the rest of you zipped over to Andith Tower to do interrogations. Use the back door that you were dropped off at, a little bit more discreet. By the time you get there and you get parked, you get inside, you need to get where into. Varian, you have 20 minutes left on the polymorph. I'm going to keep a little timer of that just in case. As you're bustling through, you're going down these sort of bleak, blanched halls of Andith Tower. Killian, you know exactly where you're going and know these halls like the back of your hand, but you round the corner and nearly run... Killian, you nearly run straight into your partner, the Dark Lantern, who has essentially assigned you to all this stuff. Excuse me, very burpy. I need to look up her name.
Usid?
Yes, Dark Lantern Usid. Thank you, Alan.
Miria Usid.
Yes, Mira Usid.
Don't ask questions you don't want the answer to, Travis.
You bump into Dark Lantern Usid, and Dark Lantern Usid, she questioned you just the day before, or a few days before. You can tell that she's not been sleeping much since then. Her hair that was kind of dark, wavy, she has pulled back up into a very tight, but albeit starting to get messy ponytail, bags in her eyes bloodshot. She sees you all. She says, everyone, I didn't expect to see you back here so soon. What's the hurry?
We have a perp, and he's been frogged.
I was gonna say detained, but like...
Technically a toad.
It's not an alligator, it's a crocodile. Thank you very much. It's not a frog, it's a so apprehended a suspect. They've been frog turned into a toad.
How long is the amphibination variant?
Polymorph should last another about 20 minutes.
I don't think toads are technically amphibians. Doesn't matter.
I truly do not care. Can we just get this guy into a cell and question him and see if he's actually somebody we just randomly tackled off the street? I guess the air instead. I don't know.
Let's hope that's not the case. So do you want your a traditional interview room? Do you want an anti-magic one, or do you want one that has some additional tools at your disposal?
What kind of... I have two questions. Does the anti-magic room prevent everyone from using magic, or just the person? And two, what kind of tools are you talking about?
Each of the no matter what, the interview rooms have the actual interview room, table, chairs, and a window, and then a room for onlookers. The anti-magic room and the additional magically augmented rooms, they sort of work in tandem. So anything in the actual interview space can be anti-magic. There's no magic inside there. But it's controlled outside in the sort of viewer glass room. Most of the in the anti-magic room, it's the entire space. So spells, magic, any items, things like that can't go in or out and be effective. But same for the magically augmented room. There are. It's not really. It's Citadel sanctioned enchantment magics. So some charming magics. It's fairly low level magics because there's a lot packed into it, but essentially you have access to things like charm persons, commands, things like that. But there's a limit to it per room, so you kind of have to use it strategically. But
I mean, we need this person not to be able to cast spells, but we also kind of need to be able to have a truth dome around them of sorts. I don't.
So you said they can cast spells from outside?
Able to cast the feather falls.
Yes.
For the magic rooms and the regular interview rooms, I suppose, you can cast magic through the glass, depending on the spell, if it can pass through such barriers. But the anti-magic room, once the anti-magic is activated, it only lasts for an hour at a time, essentially an hour on, hour off kind of thing. But magic can't go in or out of once the anti-magic is being used.
It's kind of your expertise. What do you recommend? I mean, we don't really interview people in these kind of situations very often.
Yeah, most of the time when I interview people, it's not in a cell.
And I don't usually, yeah.
And
you don't have to say that. Remember, they're cops so late.
Yep.
The anti-magic, the anti-magic is mostly good for those that might pose a danger. Whenever you all had your encounter with this necromancer's apprentice, eventually she was brought here and we questioned her, and because she may have posed some danger, we interviewed her in there. But someone who's just a mage, right? They're not going to get very far in here with some prestidigitation and, mending. So it's really up to you how dangerous you might think your person of interest is.
If they're the person we think it is, they might be very dangerous. So I think it'd be better safe than sorry. Just do the anti-magic room.
Let's leave it off until we have a reason not to.
Don't know. I mean, why don't we keep it on until otherwise? I mean, I think when we have the reason not to, that would be too late for us to realize.
And theoretically, we can only hold them for 48 hours, 2 days. As long as, and they do get a sending out of here in that time, but unless they get paid out, bailed out, they'll be here for a while. So if you wanted, you could do both. It's just a matter of which one you want first.
Do any of us have the capability to disrupt magics if they try to teleport out of here or something like that?
If it's very high level magic, it may pose a problem, but simpler magics I should be able to do it with rather easily.
Okay.
AKA, I have counterspell.
Okay, that's what I was asking. that's what I was asking.
Found their hands, right? It's not that big of a deal.
I just want to be more safer than... I'd be safe than sorry.
No,
this is who we think it is. They could do a whole lot of harm no matter what.
Yeah, and we, as most of you are aware, for spellcasters that are being kept in custody, if we're worried about that kind of thing, we do have the iron gauntlets for them to wear, which effectively, for you all spellcasters, if they worried, probably Oleg was the most fidgety about having things taken away. So if they're worried about you casting a spell, they essentially just have these iron gloves that they slip over your hands, so that way you can't bend or move your fingers while you're in custody and cast spells. Yeah.
Okay.
Like an avatar.
Yeah.
I know.
Perhaps there's. Go ahead, Spike.
I was just gonna say, I know spells, they can also require verbal components and stuff like that. We can do, we could talk to each other in our heads, brains, CPUs, whatever. Why don't we just gag him too? I mean, listen, if he can't use his hands and he can't talk, then he's not casting any spells.
I
would rather.
I think that. Yeah, go ahead.
I don't if this is just a random citizen. I don't know. Let's just try the anti-magic.
Wouldn't that defeat the purpose of questioning them?
No, we question them what telepathy.
I see.
In the anti-magic room?
No, I'm saying
before
out
we
of it.
turned that on. Before we turned it on.
Meta, I think Cornelius is the only one with telepathy.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Either way, I think we should just do the anti-magic room. Keep it on, for the first hour, and hands bound and whatnot, and just.
I was
do
I
it
was
is.
I was gonna suggest maybe keep it off for now, and then if something happens that's very shifty, like we turn it on. I don't know how you guys want to go about this, but I was thinking about it, and you said there's like one of those like one-way window type things, right?
Correct.
So if we could have somebody on the outside that's perceptive, like Varian or somebody like that, that's on standby watching for like weird ticks, signs of lying, stuff like that, and then also they can do nothing but just focus on the person while other people ask the questions.
You can also, especially for the magical and anti-magic rooms, if you don't want your own abilities to be disrupted, or for the case of the magic room, if you don't want to be, under the effects of a zone of truth or anything like that, you can also speak through the glass as well. There are magics for that that allow that.
Okay.
So that way you could all be on the inside and cast spells from the other side. Yeah, it's really just a little cone that you speak through, but yeah.
One of those playground pipes.
I was thinking of like a plan. If we have somebody on the outside like Varian or you, Killian, and then have people on the inside do like the good cop, bad cop thing. You know what I mean?
Gillian, have you done a lot of interviews of witnesses?
What's your charisma like?
Alan?
Oh, me? Sorry.
Yes.
+4.
Oh, damn, okay.
I'm also very incredibly perceptive and will have advantage on perception and insight checks.
So,
I think
Go ahead.
I mean, you are the officer. I mean, maybe it'd be good to have you take a bit of the charge with a little bit of help with maybe our reporter friends. None of them,
That's fine. I was also gonna suggest maybe Spike and I go at it, and like Spike does bad cop, I do good cop. Spike's real scary.
Now, why you gotta go and assume that I'm gonna be the bad cop? I can be a good cop.
You're usually
Hey, civilian, how is your day going? Is that not good cop enough? Would you like a coffee? Is that good cop? I look over at Killian.
Yeah, what else? What other lines?
If you don't like coffee, possibly a water would suit you better.
Varian, you feel a sort of numbness and tingle at the tips of your fingers as you feel the polymorph spell only has about 10 minutes left.
All right, I'll be back on.
Oh, you're muted, Carson, I believe.
Hi, not to interrupt, but I only have about 600 seconds. 599.
You put the way you said that just gave me anxiety.
I'm sorry.
Okay,
that was the worst possible way for you to phrase that.
We're going into a magic room now.
Yes.
This whole time, Varian's been beeping like the end of the 24 show credits.
I immediately thought about Xavier whenever you were playing Kingdom Hearts, because it's been a million years since I played Kingdom Hearts, but then that first time your health dropped too low when you were playing Kingdom Hearts, it's like, boop, 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 and I was like,
There was like a whole
anxiety. I love it.
Oh my god, the whole fight. There was like a whole fight where you were low health, and I was like, is this thing ever gonna stop? I don't understand.
Non-stop.
So is that okay? Do we want to do that?
Wait,
Sure.
I'm confused. Who's interrogating? Who's spotting?
You are.
I'd like to ask some questions with Spike, and if you would like, Gillian, you can be in the room as well. I can't deny you since you are an officer and our liaison, so you can pretty much take whatever position you'd like, I suppose. And as long as Varian is outside watching, you can join him doing that, or being with us. It doesn't matter. I just didn't want to crowd the room too much.
I can message you any questions that come up on the outside, and if I understand I can cast spells through, I can counter anything this person tries to do. I can probe into their thoughts. Yeah.
Without saying it out loud, I'm going to, because I don't want Killian to know that I'm doing this. I'm gonna cast Mage Hand towards Oleg, and I want like a little hand to appear and like does like the gun symbol. That way he just keeps it ready.
I was gonna suggest that anyway. Like,
because I know y'all's stats. Spike, go ahead. Make either a sleight of hand or stealth check.
Okay, it's the same difference. All right, let's do this.
Oh my
That's a
God.
2, so let's do 4.
Everyone, even the guys down the hall getting water at the water cooler, see this like illusory.
I just make good like. I just do like dumb like boom boom yes firepower.
Boom boom.
boom, boom, firepower.
Yeah.
What the fuck was that?
Catchphrase.
It's,
There will be
Somebody
no
quote
boom
that.
in the office.
I mean, boom
Boom,
boom
boom,
firepower is
firepower.
already a thing, I think. But
Do you need to put some items in the front lobby?
Oh, polymorph's running out. We should probably get going.
yeah,
right?
let's go into the thing now.
So walking and talking, you keep making your way toward down the maze of hallways and interrogation rooms.
I want to lean back and catch up Oleg while Killian's up and be like, "Yeah, keep the gun ready."
Who do you think I literally always. Do you know me not to have gun ready?
I know. I like to say it. It makes me feel good.
I like to imagine that like Oleg's hands are so callous from keeping just a grip on his gun. Like he has horrible arthritis in all of his joints because he's always
strapped.
He can't stretch his hand out a certain distance.
he's always
Yeah.
just like this.
In trigger
He
position.
he knows trigger safety.
He
has
knows
his
the
hand-
exercises, yeah.
He has the finger out. You gotta make sure that you're
You
not.
can shoot and do
Shooting
handshakes,
yourself?
and that's it.
Oh man.
You don't want to shoot yourself in the foot. That'd be embarrassing.
Yeah, that would be embarrassing.
So you make your way to the anti-magic, what they call interview rooms. They're interrogation rooms, and they are used as such. But you make your way there. Who is going? So, like I said, there's the actual interview room that is equipped with table and chair for person of interest or suspect, and however many chairs for you all. There's also, handcuffs, manacles to keep them strapped to the chair table, all that good stuff. And then the sort of viewer room, the spectator room. It is equipped with the devices to control the different magical things. It is also, chairs. It has, like, drawers and shelves for, everyday things. There's, like, paper, pens, pencils, quick reference books for certain things for, basic Sharn laws or Breland laws. Similarly,
Flip that.
yeah, geographical
upside down.
things. There's all sorts of reference materials, writing supplies, and basic stuff. So who's going to be in the interview room?
I believe me and Spike, but also if Killian or somebody could come in and help us secure those like metal gloves too, because I just want to do that just in case. Sure. Because I do not want this person to escape.
Okay, yeah, I'll help secure. And
Okay, cool.
After that, I will stand next to Oleg.
I-
Wherever he would be.
I think that you're gonna be outside. I believe.
Okay. So I can observe through the window.
Okay. Yes. Because the more eyes we have outside, the better. I think. Because I don't think we should crowd the room too much.
Yeah.
But before we go in,
Where-
I want to say, I feel like, all right, guys. So I feel like if something goes wrong and we need to like turn on the magic, anti-magic field like really fast, like we feel like something bad's coming, we should have like a code word, something that like won't wouldn't come up in normal conversation. My suggestion is that's a good one. I was gonna say bongo.
Kumquat bongos.
Fuck.
Kumquat bongos, perfect. We're doing it.
A little long, but all right. Okay.
Kumquat bongos.
Dark Lantern Usid, she pulls you to the side, Killian, out in the hallway.
Yeah.
Before, like, you kind of get all set up, she says,
What's a kumquat?
I don't know. I think it's a Zendrick fruit. I don't know. It's probably an extinct fruit at this point. I don't know. But I'm very tired. I am exhausted. She holds up the mug that she has, and you know it's like 7:30 at night. She says, "This is the first cup of my third pot of the day. I have so much paperwork to keep filling out. I trust you with this. I'm gonna sit in there with you just in case. I'm just gonna sit back. You can handle this. You and all them can handle this. I'm just gonna sit and observe and
Yeah,
do
you
my
can
own
chill
thing.
in the back.
I appreciate it. Yeah.
Do you want some tea? I got some tea.
Coffee will do fine. Yeah, we got this new creamer bot. It's the new model that they just released like 2 weeks ago. So many flavors. So many flavors. Anyway.
Wait, how do we afford that?
I don't know, because they've been talking about budget cuts. I mean, they just fired
Jerry, right?
Gary? I thought it was Gary.
Gary?
Whatever that new guy was. Budget cuts, we just had to fire him. But then
Yeah.
we got this new cop, I guess, to keep up. Anyway, you should go in there. I think they're probably more some stuff.
Okay, yeah. God, I feel
and
bad
so,
for that kid.
and so you both go into the little spectator room. She grabs a seat and it's just...
Some dude just got fired.
He got replaced with a coffee maker. That's what just happened.
Automation is ruining Sharn.
Coffee makers are coming to steal your jobs and marry your wives.
I'm already thinking of backstory for him. He just got on like 2 months ago.
He's like, I'm gonna make Sharn a better place, and they're like, all right, Jerry, give me some coffee.
Fucko. So got kumquat bongos
Fucko.
written down. I got some Gary Jerry lore written down. I've got the layout of where everything is.
Gary Jerryson.
Now he's
So
working at like Sharn Lenses Direct or something.
it's gonna be Donovan and Spike in the interview room, correct?
Yeah.
Making sure.
You.
And
Yeah.
then Oleg, Killian, Varian, and Usid in there.
In the back.
Yeah, sitting in the corner. And, of course, as it goes on, you're going to look back and she's asleep. It's like that kid in the back of the class. You look over and you're just like, oh, man. I feel that, though. So there was a hydrate, and I left my water bottle in the living room. So I'm going to take a quick 2-minute break to go grab my water and to get my notes set up and everything.
Toilet cat.
Get Rachel to replace real quick.
And Oleg's gone. I'm just going to turn off my camera. If any of you want to sit and chat, you can. I'm just letting you know that it's still going to be running.
Cool.
Uh-oh.
Oh, did I miss the break?
They're taking a break, but they're leaving the cameras on. You know what that means. Have you all heard of this wonderful thing called Patreon?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, our wonderful DM, Logan, where you can get even more content, such as... What does he have on his Patreon? Somebody help me out. What does he have on his Patreon?
What does he have on it?
He's got like,
Tons of content.
Yeah.
Great feet. He's
got feet, yeah.
Rules.
If you guys want
At least 2 of them.
Yeah.
donate Patreon for some quality feet,
Quality.
man, this is the place.
Oh,
Logan
God.
should not have left us alone with this.
Never say
Gone
dice.
downhill
Never
quickly.
say no feet.
Oh, if you've missed an episode and want to get caught up, check out his YouTube channel where he's posting the VODs up, and you could go back and rewatch. Also, we have some earlier cases that we solved. I don't know if he has a command for YouTube.
Well, I think on stream, this is the only case we worked on with these characters. But hey, if you want to go check out a little fun side arc, please do. It was a hoot.
Yeah. Oh God, those side characters are so good.
Yeah,
Oh wait, I think I'm on his Patreon, right? How do I go to Patreon?
Patreon.com/NeverSayDice.
Yeah, it's got stuff on it.
It does have stuff on it, and
Stuff.
I will be posting the VOD for the NPC thing that we did for my Patreon supporters to go back and view. That's probably how I'm going to do it for a while, is make the live version available to everyone. The VOD is available to my Patreon supporters. So I really hope that you can catch the next one live, because it's a lot of fun.
And it's got feet.
It does have feet. It also has some hands, a tail or two. Yeah, it was very funny because Alan had not been subscribing to my Patreon, and whenever he did, he started seeing all the things. He was like, "Oh, you made this!" I'm like, "Yeah, I did." It was very fun.
also drink
Yeah.
G Fuel.
Why? What?
G Fuel, if you want to sponsor us, get in there.
There's a promotional thing apparently going around in this university area, and some people went around and put a twin pack of Red Bull on everyone's door, and so I have 2 Red Bulls that I'm going to be not drinking tonight.
My sister was just talking about how she drinks too much Red Bull.
I hate
and
Red Bull. It sucks.
I
But
love it. It's so good.
it's so terrible.
I
I have a weird coating in my mouth. It's like
It's the thing is like, she was saying that people will be like, you know how bad those are for her? And she's like, yeah, I don't drink them because they're good for me. Nobody's like, Red Bull, the thing I know that's good for my body. It's what it craves. It's like, no.
I drink them to meet the
As healthy
demands
as a
of an
Diet
increasingly
Crystal Light.
monstrous society.
and I don't plan living that long anyway, so might as
Yeah.
well live fast, die young, leave a sexy corpse or whatever the.
I don't think
Some of
anybody-
us can't even do that.
So I need to hydrate before we keep going.
And don't forget to go check out on Disney Now the Fall Warrior and the Kingfisher.
The Kingfisher.
Yep.
Close enough. Yeah, that's it.
Yep.
So, you guys, get set up. You will kind of do this step by step prior to the actual interrogation. So, you take the toad into the interview space. At what point do you drop the polymorph? Carson.
At what point do I drop the polymorph?
Yes.
Okay.
Because you also mentioned doing the iron gloves.
So I assume they're not going to be able to put the iron gloves on the toad.
Correct.
Put it on little Toad's little
Yeah.
hand, and he just goes
Yeah,
into it.
I told them that this was a
Hopefully
bad investment, but here we are.
Yeah. Police
Got toad
spending
side
its card
handcuffs.
is outrageous. They bought cuffs for every kind of polymorph animal you can imagine.
Yeah, some paparazzi.
That's why they had to
camera.
fire Jerry.
Yeah.
Poor Jerry.
All the money on Toad handcuffs.
Yeah, we needed someone for elephants. You know, their stumps.
Their stumps.
You know.
Oh my god.
Oh, I know what you mean. That got Alan though. So you take the toad in there. At what point do you drop the polymorph?
At which point we're all set up. Then and
Killian and I are gonna put, I guess, like take one hand each and
Yeah.
do it.
One little toad hand each. We're all behind the glass.
I
And
imagine this toad
Yeah.
sitting on the table, and both of you are like trying to hold onto this slimy little leg, and it keeps like.
Okay, toads aren't slimy though. toads are dry, have dry skin?
They have dry skin.
Remind me, does
Yes.
polymorph keep any of the stats, or is this guy just
No,
fully a
it's
toad?
it's
and
fully
won't remember?
toad.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, true polymorph is the one where like they maintain.
Cool. So yeah,
Oh, wow.
this toad is just chilling. And once everybody's in place, us behind the glass, them in front of it, I will, after an exhausting hour of maintaining concentration on this spell, finally drop it.
Okay.
Would he be naked?
No,
No.
his all of his stuff is like absorbed into his toad form, and
Oh,
then it's
okay,
still back
okay.
where it was. So of course,
Making sure.
as the toad balloons back out into the humanoid form, you now see this half-orc with kind of grayish, greenish skin, but fairly just kind of pale, if it is green. Wearing this very, of course, nondescript, like, brown cloak, dark armor, dark boots, not really anything super notable, except for what seems to be a silver club of some sort at his hip. But it takes a little bit of wrangling, especially because Killian is small. But after a bit of, a moment or two, he's freaking out. You kind of get him calmed down. You get his hands slipped in the gloves, and they're all chained together. So you get it all situated, Killian. You can make your exit and join up in the interview room.
Before he goes, I will ask if he wants to pat this guy down, just to like take anything. I don't know if he might have something on his person that might be scary. I don't know. Seems like normal cop shit.
Yeah. Killian's just still a little bit dazed that this person was a toad like 2 seconds ago.
That's very
First time.
I love that.
Bringing it back.
I love that shit. So
I have to stand on the table for the top half.
yeah. So it
I pick you up. And just let you pat him down.
yeah, you all kind of watch, like, it's not the most graceful or intimidating scene as this tiny little owl is picked up by Donovan and maneuvered to pat down your suspect.
But I comb him.
You comb him from head to toe. At a cursory inspection, you find pouches of coin on his hip. You find that silver club, and upon a slightly further inspection, you see that this silver club, it's no more than probably less than a foot long, if maybe just 6 to 8 inches. It's not big at all, but sort of at the what would be the pommel, if it were a weapon, there is a crystal gem, and so it's just abnormal, and so it kind of catches your eye as being abnormal. If you want to make some kind of check to ascertain more about it, you can, but we'll get there. So there's that. He has coin on him. Underneath his brown cloak, there is a sort of small satchel. Rather than like a full backpack or messenger bag, it's basically just the leather and cloth equivalent of like a drawstring bag. It's fairly small, enough to fit under a cloak. And you can kind of wiggle that off of him, get it off his hands and everything. And doing an inspection of it, you find like some kind of basic writing tools. You also find what seems to be the makings of a disguise kit, some makeup, wigs, things of that nature. However, it also, most of it, actually we'll get there. I'll give you more information on investigation check. And then, trying to think of anything else out of the ordinary. Besides that, there's nothing really else that catches your eye that's unique. The rest of it's, fairly basic things that most people in Sharn would have. But if you'll make an investigation check for me, Alan.
Just Killian?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Can I help?
How are you helping?
By lifting him
Besides
up.
that.
I just looking also with like a discerning eye and maybe pointing out anything that he may have missed, just like...
Yeah, sure. So Killian...
Are y'all investigative, anyway? Or are y'all both persuasive?
Killian is.
Why not both?
So Killian, investigation check with advantage.
Cool. Well, I think since
You have a thing that can find hidden shit anyway,
Since-
right?
Donovan lifted me up.
You lift me
and I-
up.
Moving
Where's
less
the
than
fan art?
half my max speed, I already have advantage on it.
So you
alright,
get
that's
double advantage. We'll just say that effectively you can do it a lot quicker. You're able to make these deductions incredibly quick.
Yeah. Investigation. 24.
24. Taking a little bit longer to look at those things that stuck out to you. The gemstone pommeled silver club or silver spellcasting focus. It almost resembles a wand in a way. You take a little closer look at it, and quickly you realize it is made of like pure silver. And it's not just a silver cylinder or silver tube. Once you kind of take it off, it is very heavily weighted. Very heavy. Like, way more than just a silver tube has any right to be. On top of that, the gemstone, looking a bit closer, it definitely swirls with a kind of magical energy to it. So this is more than just a silver wand or silver item.
Okay.
Do you have any questions about that before we move on?
And I'm guessing this is not bloodied.
Uh,
Is it bloodied?
It is not bloodied.
I was gonna ask, what was the cause of death for the last victim, whose name escapes me? I would know because of keen mind, but Jacob has poo-poo brain.
Wasn't it Iago?
It was
Iago.
Iago, and
Yeah, go Digalenta.
I don't know.
I
didn't hear
recall
Iago.
saying vaguely, but I don't think you guys made a check to fully deduce the cause of death. I had said vaguely he was bludgeoned to death. Seems as his head had been struck with something.
Okay, that's all I would have picked up
Okay.
on anyway. It's that's more so I was asking if it was a stabby stab or the bonk.
Gotcha. It was the bonk. Yeah.
Death by bonk.
Death by
Happens to the
bonk.
best of us.
And I don't. Does the citadel have a procedure? Like, do I say like these items will be returned to you after this process or
Yes.
something?
Mhm.
And like whatever rights you will still have while
The-
you're here.
Yep.
And,
Instead of Miranda
yeah.
rights, it's like Karen rights or something. I don't know.
Really? The name you went with was Karen?
It's a generic
Hey,
name.
It's a very odd
Is
fan.
that a Sex in the City reference?
No.
What?
Shut
I
up,
look like
Carson.
the kind of person that would be like, "Oh, look at me! Got to reference fucking Sex in the City in my
Yes.
D&D campaign."
Shut up, Travis.
Fuck off, Travis.
I just like you sit there so quietly for so long, and then I just see your hand reach up, grab your little control thing on your mic cord, and say, "Yes."
He was trying to throw shade earlier.
I'm reading you your Sarah Jessica Parker rights.
Yeah.
Sarah Jessica Parker rights, yes. They've been, they ended up establishing those during the Parker v. Portman trial.
Also, her name is Carrie, not Karen. First of all,
Close enough.
if you're gonna accuse me of something,
He
no,
remember?
you're
Oh
right.
my god. Anyway, Alan, any further questions about this weird silver implement?
I will bring it to Varian for.
I was about to
some
say, I was gonna
inspection.
see if he knows
I will
anything.
promptly leave the room. Yeah.
We'll say before you do
I'll-
that, I'll go ahead and give you the deductions of the other things you found, because you would have done it sort of as you found them. The disguising implements that you found aren't
good.
aren't what you expect. They are very performative. So rather than, finding very natural colors, very natural looking wigs, and natural clothes, they're all very vibrant. Almost like circus or like concert-esque. Like they are very loud. And so they don't necessarily... They strike you as odd initially that he had these on his person. They then strike you as odd because of how they're not being used to blend in. These are being used as performance things, if that makes sense.
Okay.
And then the other thing that I was
ask-
going to throw... Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna ask, like, as I'm looking through all this stuff off of him, can I kind of do like a quick once over of like his overall mood and like
Mood?
his,
Sure.
or like just his presence, I guess. Like,
His aura.
Can I give him advantage on this? Maybe insight.
what's his vibe, man?
Make
Yeah.
an insight check. And if Donovan, you want to make a separate insight check, you can.
Okay.
He got turned into a toad and now he's in custody. I'm gonna say it's not great.
I got an 8. I'm
Awesome.
looking at my
Donovan,
shoes and
you're
shit.
holding Killian, and you're looking at what he's doing. You're like, yeah,
He's so cute.
and you start realizing, like, wow, like, it's kind of like
Wow.
whenever a fluffy cat, like, has to take a physical bath, like, and the fur kind of shrinks down a little bit. You're holding Killian, you're realizing, like, oh, he's a lot this is all, like feathers and fluff.
His bones are hollow.
And you're like,
Birds
he's
be
so
crazy.
light, and you kind of get a little distracted with it. But then you start feeling like, oh, Killian is really tense, and oh wow, he's literally looking, and so you kind of insight check Killian instead. Killian, what was your insight check?
Am I feeling Donovan feeling me?
No.
You're like, his ring finger is on my nipple, and he's not moving, and I can't.
Birds don't. Birds
I
don't
see
have
nothing.
nipples. What?
He's an Aarakocra, not a bird. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Still.
we got things.
We got things. So Alan, what was your
Confirmed Aarakocra do give live birth.
Alan? What was your insight check?
Literally.
30.
Yeah.
Okay, I have to actually.
I
roll
don't like
some-
it when other people roll 30s.
I have a plus 13, I think.
A plus 13?
It's called expertise, bitch.
Yeah.
With, honestly, Alan, you were learning something that only a 30 could truly accomplish.
Big plays.
This individual, you don't even know his name yet, but this half-orc, you start looking at his facial expressions, the way he's sitting there, the way he's carrying himself, the not even just the look on his face and his facial expressions, but the look in his eyes. You know, the eyes are the window to the soul. So you notice that he is a panicked person that has just been arrested by the FBI of Breland. He is scared out of his mind. He is horrified. He has no idea what's going on. But you can see in his eyes that he is trying to give the best performance of his life. To everyone else, even like all of you looking on, this is a very sad, panicked, and scared person. Killian, you can see just this faint glint in his eye of, I'm in control, I know what I'm doing, kind of thing. And so even
Validation.
though, and you start looking at like the way he's like, and this is what gets you the most, I'll let you decide how it makes you feel. But you start looking at those sort of micro things that typical people can't control whenever they are nervous or anxious. And he's doing it. He's, he has his hands clasped together. He has his feet crossed and tucked under the chair. He's like hunched over. Like he is playing the part so well, but his eyes are betraying him.
Fuck.
This is where your Sherlock Holmes games come into play.
And so it's one of those sort of indescribable, like you can see it and you know, but every bit of physical evidence doesn't point that way. And then finally, I forgot the last bit of that investigation check. If you recall, you found the sort of faint bloody footprints on the floor of Iago Galanda's, or the suite where Iago was murdered, and it changed from halfling size to humanoid size before it hit the balcony. His boot prints match.
When it gets more human sized?
When it gets more human sized.
Ooh, let's go!
Hell yeah.
I was so worried this was gonna just be some random ass dude. It's gonna look like a fool. We double dimension door for nothing.
That's barely on less than a 30. You would have thought that.
Tackled a random citizen out of the sky. For real.
It was cool though.
It was.
It was very cool.
Wow.
Now, here is a very not necessarily telling thing, but it's going to be a little bit of a start. Alan. Oh, excuse me. Alan, I need you to make a.
Yep.
It's up to you. I would like you to make some form of essentially, whenever you lock eyes with this individual, do you want to try and hide that you know, or that you are onto them kind of thing, or are you going to use that to your advantage and sort of show that you see through it kind of thing? Because you can tell while looking at him, when you lock eyes with him, it like pierces through. Like, he looks at you, and you sort of you just have that feeling whenever you make eye contact.
What are my stats here? It's kind of okay.
While I see Killian sitting there thinking about it, I'll just kind of like pat him on the shoulder as I put him down, and just give him a knowing nod and give him a bardic inspiration.
I imagine, like, while still making eye contact, he's like lower to the ground.
He's like, he gets lifted and he's like.
So Alan, are you going to try and hide that you know, or let him know? Because you can tell he's looking at you intently.
Hide.
Okay, so make either a deception or a persuasion check.
With a D8.
Probably more of a deception check, since it's hiding.
Probably deception. And the D8. I got an 8 on the D8. And a 15. Plus 4. What's a 12 plus 15?
27.
27. Please.
Wait, did you say a 12 plus 15?
Yeah.
Oh
I got a
God.
full 8 on the D8.
Oh
So wait, what was the total you just said?
27.
Okay, so there's
Thank you so much, Jacob.
There's a chance. Actually, no,
The bars
there's
are for
not a chance. There's not a chance.
Who would have known Killian's actually a good cop?
And so Killian, as you kind of hold eye contact for a second, and you're kind of just, even with just a bit of facial expressions, just the glint in your eye, you are able to maintain your emotions long enough to show that you have no idea. And he breaks eye contact, continues the facade, and you can tell he knows none the wiser.
I want a message. Okay, first of all, not so I won't metagame. Do I pick up on anything like that? Would Spike and I both, since we're in the room, would we either of us be like?
If both
pick
of
up
you
on
want to
something?
make an insight check, you can, but it's going to be very high DC.
Oh, okay.
I have a 22.
Can that
I got
deception?
23.
Okay. Alan, what?
Can that deception check also apply to everyone else?
How so?
Like, I'm not showing that I know something.
Oh, yes. Effectively, Donovan and Spike. The only thing that you can tell is that a moment just occurred between Killian and whoever this suspect was.
Okay.
You both rolled very high and high enough to feel and notice that, you know, they shared a moment, but it's not like a moment that they're in cahoots or that they plan. Like, you can just tell that some moment just occurred between the two of them, assuming Killian's an intelligent investigator. Something just happened, but nothing telling about what it was.
Can I, like, no, understanding that there's a moment, I will use Massive Cantrip and be like, you get anything off him? Anything interesting?
Oh, to me?
Yes. I'm not gonna ask him. I don't know. Hey! Suspect! Anything interesting going on? How's your wife?
I say nothing definitive.
Do I believe that?
I mean, I don't think, Killian, you're lying in saying that, but, well...
Yeah. I'm
there's
saying
definitely
that
something-
also, I don't want Donovan and Spike to show on their faces just in case that they know.
You're
So
looking
that
at
this
two
person
charisma
will-
boys.
That's fair. This is all getting very complex, but it's also very important for all
only
these.
been
Like an anime movie.
This has been the longest 5 minutes. So
that's just this campaign.
yes, that's fair. The entire campaign.
We made a day last like 6 sessions.
Yeah,
so,
that's
like, it's
fair.
alright.
So I'm gonna say with that, Donovan, if you want to make an insight check.
Nat 20.
Sweet. And now, if all three of you, well, no, I guess not Spike, because he didn't hear it, but now Donovan and Killian, if you'll both make a deception check for me.
Another one?
Yes, another one. And another one.
Non-natural 20.
26.
So, Donovan, you can tell that Killian's holding back, but you can probably also tell he's not doing it maliciously. He's holding back to not arouse suspicion.
At that, I'll just nod my head and be like, all right. And I'll just say, Inspector? And turn to Spike and I'd like, I guess, gesture to Spike to take like a position at like the left side of the table, where I'm gonna sit on like the right side of the table.
I want to establish what Spike's doing real quick.
Okay.
So Spike is
Do what you're doing.
at the back of the room, leaning against the wall with his foot up and his arms crossed. You see that his cowboy hat is tipped down, and the only thing that's peering out is his red robot eyes.
Perfect.
Oh, baby.
In the viewing room, Varian, you turned the knob and turned down the lights just a little bit.
Yeah. I pick up what you're putting down.
All right.
Careless Whispers starts playing.
That is not the music I
Nope,
would have
that's
chosen
not.
for this
It's
interrogation.
What?
Oh, that's
Anyway.
how you throw him off.
That's
off
not
the
what the
rhythm.
interview is for.
But after Killian retreats, and I've kind of picked up on like there's something going on. He just doesn't want to let it go. I'm like, all right, we'll play it cool. And I take the chair on my side and gesture for this person to sit down. And I flip the chair like, and I just kind of.
Can I?
Good.
As I'm going into the viewing room, can I wake up Usid?
You see that she's sitting there, like, fingers still in the loop on her mug of coffee. She has pen at the ready. She's already signed her name in several blanks, and it looks like she's sitting there reading it. And then you look, her eyes are 100% closed.
I kind of like shake her a little bit. Usid,
Yes.
this guy killed Iago. His footprint matches.
Who's Iago? The most... Wait.
He's the... I don't actually know, really.
Wait,
He's
sorry.
the Galanda...
Victim.
The Galanda guy,
Galanda guy.
right? Or Iago is he's the murder victim.
There was a... I thought this was just
yeah.
suspect. There was a fourth...
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. And you see that she's sort of having like a... I'm
Should I get the
trying
same
to
vibe?
think through the fog kind of moment. She's like...
This woman needs a raise.
She was like, no, yes, nope, yes, I did hear about that. We dispatched some
True.
extra Citadel agents to go, yes, yes, that's right. She jots in the margin of whatever contract she's signing, Galanda. That doesn't mean anything. She says, yes, I mean, I trust you, but you're sure about that, yeah?
Yeah, we should be ready just in case.
She puts all of her stuff back in the folder and she says, I'll go have some extra nights standing outside. Maybe even someone from the Black in the Book on call just in case.
Okay, and then I'll go up to Varian, say, see what you can make of this, and I just kind of hand him like all of the dude's stuff.
So Varian, you're handed essentially a pack full of just like kind of miscellaneous like stuff, a leftover like half of a burrito from lunch that day, and like a toboggan.
Who just carries a burrito around in
for
their
later,
bag?
a toboggan for in case.
Criminal.
Yeah, a hat,
Scum.
a scarf, whatever it might be, but then the elements of what seems to be performer attire, and also the silver club with the gemstone pommel.
Okay.
And then I'll go up to Oleg, begrudgingly, and say, Oleg, please ready your weapon.
Why do people keep on saying this? I'm already ready.
He's already
And then-
aiming it at the guy through the window.
And then I want to ready myself to press the anti-magic button.
Okay. Yep.
Reading this kind of change or this seriousness in demeanor, I will just go, Inspector, did you glean anything?
Just be ready, in case.
Question for Logan.
Yes.
If I were to cast spells ritually, would that take enough of my attention away from this proceedings to have me like count as distracted?
Effectively, what I would consider it is like Varian is a highly intelligent person. But I would still, I think the normal like disadvantage penalty for things is like -5. And so for your like passive investigation or perception, it'd be at a -5. It's still high for you, but you might not be able to pick up on like all the nuances, especially things that require sight. So you'll be able to hear stuff, but you may not necessarily see things like facial expressions, stuff like that.
All right, knowing this, I'm gonna bite the bullet, spend the spell slots. First off, I forget. Did I use my racial detect magic when we were at the crime scene? I might have, but I don't recall.
I feel like you did. I remember someone
Okay.
casting detect magic, so I remember saying that there wasn't any except for like the spell shard.
That's fine. I'll start out with
I think it was Cornelius.
Was
I
it?
remember Cornelius did like his ghostly gaze and like looked around.
Because I think that I don't think it was Varian, because Varian and I went outside.
Yeah, I ran right out
immediately.
to
So we'll say
I
you
will-
It's also
Okay.
been a super fucking long day, but I think you came effectively straight there. So I think you're fine. I don't think you cast it or anything. Thank you,
I
Alan.
will use my racial detect magic, like on all to look through all of the items, and hey, I'll look at the guy too and see if there's any magical auras about him.
Okay. So you look up. Spike is sitting in a very dominating position in the corner, looking very ominous and scary.
Menacing.
Donovan, on the other hand, is flipping around a chair, cool teacher style, and sitting down.
That's me.
You
Cool
look
teacher.
up, and the person sitting at the table, this half-orc, his brown cloak and dark armor, both magical, and looking at the sort of performance elements and the silver club, the performance elements are just that. They're sort of, and I'll say the longer you look at them, it's not necessarily full costumes, it's sort of decorative things, like decorative jewelries and little accessories, like little gloves or scarves, things like that. But none of that's magical. The silver club with the gemstone pommel is magical.
Okay. His magical armor, I'm not incredibly worried about. The cloak does raise some red flags for me. What school of magic? I guess it would probably be enchantment, but I know magical items can sometimes hold spells. That would probably be something I would know. Is there any sort of second aura around the cloak? Like, I don't know, conjuration.
Well, I don't know what you're getting at, Carson. But
Carson's being a little metagaming shit right now. Varian's just wondering what kind of aura is around the cloak.
well, Varian,
Yeah.
you detect the aura that's coming off the cloak, and effectively, let me actually look at this a little more critically.
'Cause I don't know if I can counterspell an item.
This cloak, I'm gonna go with, it gives off an illusion aura.
Illusion. Interesting. This is a weird question. Is it active in a way? Like, do I sense this person is currently being affected by an illusion?
I would probably put that under an identify thing, but I will let you make an Arcana check to see if you can find out.
The magic words.
You know what? This is, I just got this die,
Ooh.
so we're gonna see how it does
Hold
for
up to
me.
the camera.
It rolled a nat 1. Fuck me. In the bin you go.
Rip. RIP. Don't hold it up. Don't say where you got it. Don't throw them under the bus. So you do
Don't
not
dox
know
them.
if it's active or not.
All
Matt Mercer gave me this die in an alley 2 years ago.
Anything else you want to do with your detect magic?
Detect magic, beyond him and his stuff, no, but I will cast. Okay, the only thing magical from his stuff is the silver club, right?
Yes. And the stuff he's wearing. Identify. Okay, I will send that to you, and I will let you make your own. Have fun with that however you wish.
Cool.
For everyone else, before we get too in the thick of things, let's take a quick toilet cat, get water, get drink, brainstorm what you're gonna do to this fool. And we will
Looks at Spike in war crime.
and he's
I already have plans.
That's what I thought.
I've been sitting here just
Waiting.
making plans.
Me too. I hope that those plans work
Yeah.
together and we don't
Yes.
fuck each other up.
So
I'm gonna thieves tools the shit out of this guy.
shove lockpicks in his eyes.
Yeah,
so-
hope you are all ready for that this evening.
So we're gonna take a quick break. We're gonna go to the screen for all my players. We'll take a quick 5-minute break, and we'll be back here very soon.
I like this. I like this version. Yeah.
Travis says, "Please don't bully."
We are in equal opportunity bullying right now.
God.
So, Carson, I sent you the thing over Discord for what you identify in your DMs. So get reading on that while we float back to the people in the interview room. So Spike, Donovan, you get your setup ready. This half-orc is sitting there looking anxious and scared. What's the meaning of this?
Hey, relax. What's your name?
My name is Gavlock Greymane.
Speak up.
Gavlock Greymane. Sorry.
Keen mind remembers. So I don't have to.
Oh my god.
Like it's all right. Had a pretty interesting night, huh, Gavlock?
I guess. What's going on?
We'll ask the questions.
Don't mind him. This is my associate Spike. He doesn't like it when people ask questions.
Oh, the Iron Hunter. The
so you've heard of him. So you know what he's capable of.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Good. So, kid, let me ask you a couple questions. What are you up to tonight? What were you doing?
Making a delivery.
What kind of delivery?
I go on excursions into the cogs and the old Sharn and all those places.
Sounds exciting. We found some interesting stuff on you. A lot of stuff disguised as you an actor or something? Performer?
I do drag shows in Lower Memphis.
That sounds pretty entertaining. How about you tell me about that?
I have an accident. I went into Lower Sharn. Someone, I don't even remember what they needed, found maybe a book or something, I don't remember. But the job got done a lot earlier, and so I walked into this bar to get some drinks before going home to my partner, and then I thought it would be fun. Someone put a wig on me, and they tossed me a scarf, hopped up on, it was fun.
Fantastic, that's great. I'm gonna cast Detect Thoughts.
You detect thoughts. And the immediate surface thoughts you get are, my partner's name is Lannis. The bar in Lower Memphis that I go to is the Frozen Bush. They tend to have drag every Friday. They have good drink specials most of the nights a week. I go there a lot after excursions.
Would I have ever been to that area?
Probably, just because you're very familiar with Sharn, and that is, in fact, a place in Lower Memphis, the Frozen Bush.
Is that the schedule?
Is that the schedule? Make a history check for me.
I have keen mind. I know the schedule.
Within 30 days, we'll see. Make a history check.
Fair enough. 25. Expertise is a real bitch.
25.
As every DM knows.
The Frozen Bush is a bar in Lower Memphis with drag and amazing drink schedules. Not on the day that he said, though.
Cool. And I may be misremembering something, but who was the person that was coming in to visit Iago?
Let me look back in my note. Tab over a little bit. Nope, that's the wrong one. There it is.
Gavanna.
There it is. Yep, Gavanna de Galanda.
Cool. Nice. But I drag, huh? And what day did you say it was on?
Wednesdays?
What day is it actually on?
Mondays.
That's funny. Last time I went there was on Mondays, but I guess times change, don't they?
I have a friend who works there, and
What's their name?
I'm sort of
I
in
go there all the time. I probably know him.
Jaina? You know
I get up.
Jaina?
I get off against the wall. I'll walk over.
I like lean back like, oh shit, he's about to do something.
I slam both hands on the ground. I look him straight in the eye. I say, "Cut the shit. You know why we have you here. So just fess up. You killed Iago, didn't you?
Maybe.
I'm gonna Hexblade curse him.
Oh shit! I'm terrified.
Anything
And
else?
then-
Help. Yep.
Before he answers, I'm going to take out the hilt, the long blade of the sun sword. All right.
You
It's
brought
just
the
that it-
sun sword into the magic
Listen,
FBI.
it is just it's not activated. It's just the hilt at this moment. I'm gonna slam it on the table. I'm gonna say, "Do you know what this is?"
You should have spoken sooner. I'm sorry. It's out of my hands now.
You see, the Citadel has access to technology that's more than you can imagine.
I'm gonna bardic inspiration. Spike bardic inspiration. Just right now.
You hype man him, and you're like, yeah, what he said.
They've lended me this little blade here that could cut through a person in nanoseconds. You know how fast a nanosecond is? It already passed you. You'd already be dead. So, like I said, cut the shit. And then, since I
And
cursed him
then
with
there's more.
that-
He had time to think about it. He said so.
Whatever, I've been thinking. Since I Hexblade cursed him, I can do this now. I can magically teleport up to him, so I'm going to magically teleport behind him, and I'm going to have the hilt of the blade at his neck.
I'm gonna preemptively hold my hand backwards towards like the viewing. Like, we got this.
You're like, hold on.
Don't worry about
it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and do that. Like, I'm gonna back Spike's play because I know he's probably not gonna murder this guy. Probably.
Yeah, I love that everybody was worried about Oleg being the loose cannon, and Spike's like, "I'll slit your fucking throat."
I knew what I know what I suggested.
It's
I-
like-
Listen,
it's
called
like the
bad cop,
eventuality I
not
predicted.
mildly good cop, all right?
It's like the conversation we're having just before we started streaming, where it was like, it's weird when there's a non-zero chance like combust or something. It's like, it's weird thinking there's a non-zero chance that Spike and
Spike's gonna
Oleg
pop
will
this
murder someone at
Yeah,
it.
this man's head's about to get like fucking seared.
100% every single time, I'm pretty sure I shoot somebody, Spike's like, damn it.
Yeah.
I know. That's the thing. Is just
Damn
like
it.
Spike's the same way, but he gets away with it better. It's just the charisma.
Baron, you hear Killian grinding his bird teeth together.
Bird teeth?
Like the ridges of your beak, like
Your beak? Do birds
Maybe
have
like-
teeth?
no, this
Answer
is-
in chat.
This is the blowhole of birds.
Yeah,
the gill hole.
No, the gill hole.
Gill.
The
The
gill
gill.
hole bird
Oh.
beak teeth. Anyway,
Jesus.
Spike, make an intimidation check with
That's-
advantage
That's exactly what I was
with bardic
And you have
inspiration.
Bardic inspiration.
Which
Oh
is,
my
what, a D6 now?
8.
D8.
D8?
Yo, I'm a high roller.
I know. Oh my gosh, this is beautiful. Oh, this is fantastic. Okay. So I have 18 plus 8. Now I also got to roll my bardic inspiration just to make sure nothing slides. You know? So 18 plus 8 plus 6.
32.
I picked a good bad cop.
Well done.
If only I could inspire myself.
Oh my god.
Spike and Donovan, only you two are able to hear it, but Gavlock lets out a sigh, and not a shaky, breaking sigh of a horrified, defeated person. A confident, proud sigh.
Like that.
And he looks up because now he cannot see. He can feel Spike, but he cannot see Spike. He looks up at you, Donovan. Alright, I'd like to make a deal, if that's alright with you and your friends.
No thanks.
Well,
I think,
here, let me pose to you this. I think I possess all the information that you seek. And I think, you all, your little Alfriend agent, and this handsome fellow right behind me, I think you all know that I possess that information as well, and truly, I could give it to you. I could very well could. And here's the deal I'd like to make. I will tell you everything you need to know, and I will answer all of your questions as truthfully as I can, on my honor. And he holds up his two, iron gloves. Says, on my honor. However, I can also make this very difficult. I know I've heard of Endeth Tower and all of its magical interviewing methods. That's fine, and I know you all and your capabilities as well, and I know you will get the answers out of me. I'm not worried about that. You will get the answers. It's a matter of how long it will take. See, if I am gone too long, it's all done. It's all ruined. The entire plan will change, and all of my information will be useless. You'll be starting at square one. But make this deal now. I'll answer all your questions as quickly as I can. Let me go, and I will help you. I will help you every step of the way. I'll be your personal informant. And you might have a chance.
You know what? I have a new deal, Spike, if you'll allow me. I think that you feel so bad about the trouble you put us all through, and so horrible about this whole situation, the mergers and everything, that you're just going to tell us all the information anyway, and enjoy rotting in a cell for your entire pathetic life, as I bonus action Unsettling Words, and then cast Modify Memory.
Using the thing?
Yep.
Okay. Unsettling Words. Modify Memory is a Wisdom save, correct?
And a -8 to that Wisdom saving throw. Thank you, ma'am.
What is your spell save DC?
Let me check real quick. Look at my spells. What is our proficiency bonus right now? It's still 3, right? No, 4. 19.
Okay. So he does fail, and what was it takes 10 minutes, I believe, to cast Modify Memory.
I don't think it does.
What was the half-orc's name again?
Gavlock.
Okay.
Hold on. Don't think it.
I know you have to be speaking to them for a certain amount of time before.
It's a minute. It says concentration.
A minute. That's what it is.
And my thing was that after meeting us, he was just so intimidated by Spike and felt so bad because of all the trouble that this person has caused that he's just gonna fess up. No deal.
So you do that. You, over the course of a minute, you weave these very intoxicating words about what has happened in the past many minutes, meeting Spike and all that kind of stuff. But then you feel that the spell doesn't land. It contradicts too much of what he knows and believes and feels. He's not scared, Spike. And it starts to dawn on you. He doesn't feel scared. He can't feel scared. He doesn't feel bad. He can't feel bad. And it's sort of as you are writing down, while speaking to him, writing in the book, recording this sort of new memory down. Let me see here. One thing real fast. There it is. Okay. First time you've written in the book. And Jacob, if you'll make a charisma save for me.
Uh, 25?
Awesome. But your modified memory does not land. And he looks at you and says, "Good one. Yes. That'd be the dream, right? If it all just worked out that way. So, we have a deal."
Let me confer about that. First of all, how did you do that? If we're gonna consider this deal, I'd like to get to know you a little better. I was very
that's part of the
powerful,
deal. That's part of the deal. I'll answer all the questions you have. And
Can I have one for free? We're friends now. I've tried to mess with your mind. You've somehow gotten over it. I just am curious.
Well, I'm not exactly sure the limitations of that magic. I could feel it. You were trying to. Yes, you said I was intimidated by this gentleman here, and you know it all. I feel bad about it all, but I just don't. That's.
All right. Spike, go ahead. You look. You want to do something? My my Hail Mary just didn't work, so I'm gonna be upset for a minute. Spike, you do your thing.
Cool. The Citadel don't negotiate with terrorists. I grab him by his head, pull his head back, activate the Sunblade just right at the tip of his neck.
I mean, if you're going to kill me, you can kill me. And frankly, if you feel like torturing me, you may as well. I don't think the Citadel will look too fondly about torture, or even killing me here, because I'm just a citizen of Sharn. So
Well, that's the fun thing, Gavlock. I ain't with the Citadel.
Oh, but you're a person who operates and works in Sharn. If you murder someone here in an investigation, you're going to prison.
Yo, guess what? That's fine. Fine with me.
He looks at you, Donovan, and says, he's a lot weirder than the papers say.
I'm gonna knock on the window, and I can speak through the thing and say, "We can bring him back to life."
Oh, that's the thing, Davlok, is I write the papers. And I leave out a lot of really weird shit.
Ooh.
I don't know. Alright, so maybe...
Spike, hold that position. I'll be right back. And I'm gonna go outside real quick and, walk out, and I'm gonna go, well, fuck, man. That was a really cool thing I tried to do, and it didn't work. I'm pretty pissed about it. But anyway, should we ask what the deal is and see if we want to agree to it?
I don't...
You're muted.
Wait, are you in the
Carson.
viewing room now?
Yeah, I walked to the viewing room.
Oh, Killian says,
what choice do we have?
Could you please get Spike in here too?
It was just gonna leave him in there.
You look through the glass. Spike is just holding this guy.
Do you want to turn on the anti-magic shield and then?
Yeah, go ahead. And, yeah, do that. Do that.
Does that turn off his sword?
No.
Yeah, it would.
It
But
will.
get Spike to come in, and then we can turn it on.
So, you turn it off or turn on the anti-magic?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll say, Spike, could we see you outside, please?
Leaned on the gap block and I say, looks like you get to live for another nanosecond. It won't be much longer. I'll give him a little pat on the cheek. Then I'll walk out.
And you hear him like kind of mumbling, just talking out loud. So it's actually been it's actually been a lot of nanoseconds by now. That doesn't make any sense. But it's been a lot of nanoseconds, but it's actually been several seconds at this point.
And I'll turn on the anti-magic right before Spike leaves.
Boom. You hear just a thrum and a vibration through that interview room, and you watch as his armor turns into, or the clothes he's wearing turns into just studded leather armor, but all of the metal studs are kind of these pearlescent rainbow metal studs. And the cloak he's wearing drops from brown into this sort of shifting, almost metallic-looking cloth. And you see that as the magic is pushed away from this room, he almost like lurches forward. And you hear him like, that really does not feel good. Is that what non-magic people feel like?
I open the door and I go,
God.
wham! I close the door.
And you kind of feel it as you open the door, and you can feel it's just like a stale heat on your face. You're like, ooh.
I don't show it though. I just go,
Yeah.
wham!
But yeah, it doesn't feel good. It's just like, ugh. Ugh.
So, should we hear him out and ask what the deal is? Because, I guess we really don't, like Varian said, we don't really have much of a choice.
This item, I hold up the club. I'm just like, this is a murder weapon for magic users. It is almost without a doubt what he used to kill Iago. And I don't know what the enchantments on his armor and his cloak are precisely, but this is very... I think we need to hear him out.
What does it do?
Well,
Varian, you seem pretty shaken by it.
And
have I heard of something like this before?
Probably the most akin, and Carson, you could probably extrapolate this as well, is similar to maybe a paladin or cleric who use their weapons as sort of a spellcasting object.
Mm-hmm.
Similarly, like druids using magic stone or shillelagh. It almost has that kind of kinship to it. But nothing exactly like this. This is almost a unique item or a specially made item, but this isn't a commonly produced kind of thing.
It's, from what I can tell, it's specially made, uniquely brutal for mages who like to or need to kill in close proximity without evoking too much noise.
And at this point, he chimes up, and you can kind of hear him through the glass. And he starts saying, the clock ticks, the nanoseconds pass. The longer you wait, the more likely it's all gonna be for. And Usid pipes up and says, "Turn that dial right there below the anti-magic one."
Okay, yeah.
And you turn it, and it's like, "Yep." As the clock and then it just silenced. And
so, we're gonna probably have to take some kind of deal, right?
When has negotiating with the bad guy ever been a good idea?
We don't have anything else.
If this guy,
we ain't even tried cutting off his fingers yet.
We can't just go cutting off people's fingers, Spike.
Why not? Thank you.
Sure, okay, no, it's not a matter of what we are capable of doing. It is a matter of, if we do it, then we're not going to actually be able to arrest this person. I'm all for fuck authority and all that, but we can't just go around doing whatever we want just because we're on the right side.
I will turn towards Yusa, I think was the person's name. Usid. And I will ask them what they typically do in this situation. Whenever the DM is back, I suppose. But other than that, I will say.
Yeah, I believe Usid went to go get some more, basically backup to surround the interview room.
Sure.
I don't know if she's back yet, but yeah, that was gonna be my thing. Was to contact her. She is technically the senior agent.
Yeah. While Logan's gone, I'm really mad that didn't work.
Yeah.
I was like, that's my trump card.
Yeah.
Fuck.
It was a pretty good maneuver. I'll give you that. I might have tried to make him think that we had already given him the deal.
No, and that's the thing is like it. I've read the spell, and I think that he's got to be somebody who can't be charmed or something, like an immunity to being charmed or something. Because I think that's what it is. But whatever. C'est la vie. I tried my best.
That would be so cool. Pulling like a.
Next time I see Logan in person, I'm gonna punch him.
I'll modify your memory
with a concussion.
You ain't never gonna forget.
Yeah.
Is Usid in the room?
Yes.
I asked Usid like what they typically do in this situation.
She looks at Killian for a moment, and Killian, you are perceptive. You've known Usid for a long time. You've worked together. She effectively, through her eyes, quickly looks at you and sort of asks, like, "Can I be honest with them? Are they cool? We good?"
They cool?
I do yeah.
Well, to be honest, that's kind of what we did with you all. You're not necessarily nearly to the degree, and of course we weren't going to arrest you for long term, because you weren't suspects were truly involved, but we
never killed anybody.
Well, we kind of made a deal with you to ensure, future successes, so it's not unheard of, but this can get messy. If this is the person that truly committed these 4 murders and made a big show of it and has caused all of this stuff, and we cut them a deal that essentially lets them to keep roaming free, it's a dangerous deal to make. But if there's more to this story than it might seem, it would be beneficial.
I feel like, not that this was easy, but I feel like this is too easy. You know what I mean? Like, a story like this doesn't wrap up that easily. I feel like that from the previous murders that have happened, they're all wildly different. There was like sabotage and explosions, and this one was just some kind of shape changing and like a bludgeoning to death. It feels too erratic to be one person. You know what I mean?
We had reason to believe that there was more than one.
And she kind of flips back through like her little portfolio. She says, and yeah, from what you all had said, that I believe it was Ting, Fei, and Katarine had both died within just minutes of each other, and that would have been nearly impossible to pull off as a single person.
It's got to be like a theater troupe or something. Like This guy seems like a real performer, like some kind of people trying to like make a statement, like a flash dance, only like murder.
I think I figured it out.
Flashdance, but murder. I
Quote that.
quote that. Flashdance, but murder.
Yeah, I
I'm a
love
mod,
trying.
I could flash. I could quote that. I just don't want to.
Yeah, you know how terrorism is like a flash mob, but
but
with more
murder.
yeah.
Anyway, Xavier, or Spike, you
FBI
figured it
open
out.
up.
I got a plan, but I'm not gonna go back in that room. And I need Donovan. I need you to step outside for a second.
What's the plan?
You'll be a part of it, but I need you to step outside.
What's the plan?
Donovan, I need you to trust me. I need you to believe in this plan in order for it to fall through.
I believe you, but I don't think that me believing you entitles me to not ask what the plan is beforehand.
Donovan, you believing in me will help us go through with this. If you just listen. Oh my God, reporters, listen.
This isn't a reporter thing. This is a normal human being thing.
You're not even a human. You're a thief.
Whoa!
All right.
Whoa! First of all,
Just
true.
step outside.
But
for
second of all,
Yeah.
we're humanoids. You know what I mean? Anyway, but still, I don't feel like it's weird to be like,
Okay.
what's the plan? You know?
Donovan, the plan is that we're gonna take the deal. Now, could
Okay.
you step outside so I can further explain the plan?
Yes. We're
Okay.
already outside. We're not in the room.
Step out of the room that we're currently in, Donovan. It's not that.
Okay. Sorry. Let's go. Tell me what let's go. Let's do it. I trust you.
Okay.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Stay right there, and I'm gonna close the door with Donovan outside.
In the
I'm
hall.
gonna turn to
So
the guys.
Donovan's
Yeah,
in the hall.
hallway.
You all are
Yeah.
in the
I look at the rest of the group.
Okay.
Is he
observation.
serious?
Yeah. Can I, with
We
all due
take-
love, can I make an insight check on Spike to see if he intends to murder this man?
You have a very high insight anyway. Spike, do you intend to murder this man?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Okay.
I really want to. I really want to, but I don't.
Cool. I'm on
Here's
edge, but reading this, I will leave it up to Spike.
So Donovan, you step out into the hall, correct?
Here's what we do.
I guess.
As you're leaving, Usid says, go get some coffee from our new Kramer bot down the hall.
I look at Usid and I go, I'm not an intern.
No, it's for you, not for us. Just go treat yourself to some coffee. I don't. Turns, whispers to Killian, why do you get so defensive about that? Well, what did he think I meant? Maybe he was an intern for the Sharn Inquisitive for a while, and it's just.
He's been a journalist for years. I thought.
Listen,
That
here's the
wasn't
plan.
file.
We tell them that we're gonna take the deal, right? We get all the information that we need from them, and then we just arrest them. The deal's null and void. The thing is, though, I need Donovan to believe that we're going to take the deal. That way, he doesn't see. If Donovan fully thinks that we're gonna do this deal, that guy can't see if he can't read through it.
Usid speaks up. She says, "That's not how our law works. If we agree to take the deal, it's not just a verbal agreement. We sign contracts and paperwork, and we make sure it goes through. It's a legitimate binding
And you can't lie.
deal. No,
You're saying that the King's Citadel's never lied to someone. This guy has killed people before.
I mean, I'm sure we've lied to get the proper answers, but we make
All
sure
right, then what's the difference?
Well, a deal is a deal.
You're making a written deal that you cannot go back on.
Meanwhile, I'm
Burn
at the Creamer
paperwork.
bot and I'm like, tell me to leave the room? Like, what the fuck?
I-
Can we get coffee? Like, what the fuck?
I cannot be allowed to do that, and now that Killian and I both know that, we will be aware of that.
I should have asked you to leave the room, didn't they?
You should have. I'm not gonna. My deception's like plus like 10. You're gonna. What? I'm not gonna show anything.
I just needed you to fully believe
And
it. You're not even here right now.
Usid looks at Killian and then looks back at the rest of you and says, I'm against that plan. The record shows I'm against that plan. But
As am I.
You.
depending,
Interrogation room recorder. I'm against that plan.
depending on the full breadth of whatever deal this individual is trying to make, if they end up back out on the streets doing whatever they were doing,
I'll kill him.
and she
Can't say that.
well, she just stops and she makes eye contact with you, Spike,
What? Hmm?
after you say that, and just leans back and goes back to signing her name in the paperwork that she was working on. And you
Listen,
kind of
I
get this
didn't-
idea that if you make the deal and something else happens to this suspect, she cannot. That's not a thing she can handle. So, and Killian, you kind of pick up on that, and I will let you decide. It's
What are
you.
the politics with Warforged and Sharn?
That's a big question.
Yeah,
Um,
that's a hell of a question.
It's not necessarily a Warforged thing at all. It's just that she wants to make sure that justice is done and good is done. And it's not necessarily that she is a typical troublemaker in the King's Citadel, because she's really not. But she wants to make sure good and justice are done. And one of the benefits of having consultants or freelancers is that they can do things that people in the spotlight cannot do.
Yeah, I'm gonna pipe up here, and I'll just say, I'm a bit exhausted magically from the day, but if you can get me some of his hair or something similar, I know, sounds odd. If
I wanna look
can-
through his
I
stuff for
can track
hair.
him. Yeah, I was about to say, if there's any hair on the stuff that brought me, that'd be tight. But if I can track him. Obviously, I can't promise he can't do anything awful in the interim, but if this person, we let him go and he disappears, I can find him.
I don't think that's gonna be a problem. Honestly, we could just follow him. I don't think that'll.
Well, even if he somehow gives us the slip.
Sure, let's just
I
walk
think
in
this
there. I mean,
whole-
we're taking the deal at this point, right? So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's not that big of a deal. If we take the deal, we figure it out later. I mean,
Well,
at
I
this point,
assume
yes, Killian?
if we agree to do the deal, it's gonna take a while to like make out the paperwork for people to sign.
It's just a form. You fill out a few lines about what the deal ensues, and there's some legal information, then you just sign. It takes about 5 minutes.
Do you have like a truth bubble or something?
Yeah, that's what the other interview room is for.
Oh, let's we could take him there, and then possibly we could cut the deal, but we could also figure out. Do you have another memory modification thing that you were trying to do?
Who are you talking to?
Donovan.
He's getting.
I'll go
coffee.
get Donovan. Get him back in the room.
So Donovan, you go down to this nice and shiny creamer bot. Whenever you approach, he says, "Hello there. How can I help you?"
Is that what Creamer sounds like?
No, that's what the new version of creamer sounds
Oh.
like.
I immediately go.
Hello, I'm Troy McClure.
That's okay. I think I'm good, and I'm gonna go to the bathroom.
Oh, says, "You sure?
and,
I've got new blueberry coffee
Already
for
walking
you."
away. Party works.
Got some with vanilla and hazelnut. That's a real
And
crowd favorite.
I go to the bathroom and I like go to the sink and like kind of like wash off my face a little bit, and I start thinking about the conversation we just had about like just doing whatever, and like kind of like just like I'm ruminating on like do whatever you want to do. Living with no rules, stuff like that. And for a moment, I just kind of take my like my suit jacket off, and I kind of like just put it on one of the stalls or something like that, and kind of roll up my like plain, like the white, like kind of a undershirt. And I kind of roll up my sleeves, and kind of look at the tattoos that go up and down my arms that are normally covered up by the suits I wear. And I just kind of think about my time with the Boromar and some of the stuff that I participated in.
On that moment, check the chat. You just got a flashback. So I guess describe one of those moments.
I flashback to
Tell me more about that.
the moment that when I first got to Sharn as a much younger man, a facial hairless Donovan.
Instead of a full mustache, it's just a little wispy.
It's kind of just like like 5 o'clock shadow all around, and just me in like a very like audacious suit, like a like the same kind of gray over like suit jacket, but underneath is like some kind of crazy print shirt. Walking around town with other members of the Boromar clan, like obviously like halflings and stuff, and you kind of zoom in on a conversation I'm having with another member of the Boromar clan, and the halfling is talking to me like, yeah man, everybody in the clan, they all have tats that symbolize something about them. Like, do you decide what you're gonna be? And like the much more muted younger Donovan's like, I don't know, something, I guess. And just kind of like moving forward in time, Donovan practicing his skills and deceptions and persuasion, and you see this very like tense standoff where a member from like a rival clan, the Dask or something, or like holding somebody at gunpoint, and Donovan is able to lie and persuade them to not follow through, and he saves that very same slightly older senior member of the Boromar clan. And after the situation is resolved and they're able to escape, you would see like the older kind of mentor figure halfling man looks at him. He's like, I know what you need to get. And the very next day, Donovan gets on his back just a very like wide scale snake print, like tattoo on his back that kind of winds like around his arms and on his back of some kind of serpent, like a Yakuza style tattoo of a serpent on his back. And Donovan kind of just flashes back to the present in the bathroom as his sleeves are pulled up.
And at like in almost that same moment, you feel a pat on your back. That's kind of your lower back, to the point where it like flashes you back into this memory, and you look, and there's a halfling standing next to you. Your blood pumps. You start to panic a little bit, and you see this portly little halfling guy. Similar kind of rolled up sleeves, sweaty shirt, thinning hair. It says, hey bud, tough day? How's it going? Doing okay?
Yeah. Sorry I didn't see you there.
Oh, you're good. I've been in here for like 30 minutes, just sitting. No, yeah. You know, you get caught up reading a book and you just kind of forget.
Work here? Do they let you just like go AWOL for 30 minutes?
Well, you know how it is. As long as you do your work. you know, work's done by the end of the day. Who cares where you go for long
Insight
breaks?
check.
You know what I'm saying? Make an insight check.
16.
Yeah, he's just a Joe Schmo who works in the King's Citadel. He's a little office dweeb. And
Put on company time.
yeah, shitting on company times. And he says, hey, that new green robot has some banana pecan coffee. It's real weird. I know, it sounds real weird, but I highly recommend it. It's very good. I know it's getting kind of late. You know, you're not supposed to have coffee after what, like 4 o'clock, but you know, long
That's
days.
a great suggestion, buddy. I'm gonna head out. You enjoy your weird poop time. And I kind of still, like, I don't put my suit on. I kind of throw my suit jacket on my back, and I walk out with my sleeves still rolled up.
And you do notice there is he goes over to the cleansing stone to like wash his hands, and he touches it, and it like woof, sweat stains disappear. He's all cleaned up, and then like you kind of do it once, you clean yourself, and as you go to leave, you hear him like whoop, 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 multiple times. Don't know why, but then you make your way down the hallway.
After hearing that several times, I'm gonna kind of hold back, and I kind of want to like just pretend like I'm looking at like a watch or something, and I'm kind of just gonna watch him for a second. Like, what is this guy doing? Is he just like washing his hands multiple times, like burn time? Is he just one of those people that's like, I'm just gonna take up a bunch of time doing meaningless shit to not do work?
Make an insight check or investigation, whichever.
25 investigation.
Still, well. That's more of a body language thing. Yeah, investigation check. He clearly, it wasn't a good poop. You watch him grab another cup of coffee.
That's why he's having a weird
And
poop.
he takes like a many gulps of it, and then gets a refill from that new cream robot, and then it starts to piece together. You're like, oh, ooh, that's why. And so, you know, he just get nice and clean, yeah,
I'm gonna leave that alone.
Yeah. But you make your
walk
way
outside.
Yep.
With like a suit over my back.
And you make your way back. You see the Citadel Knights standing outside the interview room, 2 on each side of each door, so 4 total. And as you are kind of making your way up, you get stopped by one of the knights. Not stopped, but she just gets your attention. She has dark skin. Her hair is pulled up into her helmet, so you can't see it. And because of the strange fluorescent lights, like magical fluorescent lights, that shine down this very sterile white light, her armor is steel and gleaming, but her skin is very dark, which makes it seem all that darker. But then her eyes are this kind of bright hazel, almost brownish green color. And so immediately she catches your eyes. She's human, maybe 30s, 40s. Says, sorry to stop you, but how's it going in there? I you know, rumors are circulating that you got the house killer. Is that true?
Nothing's for sure yet. Insight check.
Make an insight check.
I'm sorry. I'm suspicious of everyone.
This poor
20, dirty
campaign.
20.
This poor campaign.
I'm sorry. I just when you were like, "Yeah, there's a person capable of shape-shifting," I'm just like, everyone is a killer.
It's almost like I did that on purpose.
Yeah, fuck off.
So she is. I'll be, straight with you, Jacob. She is a knight in the Night Citadel. She is just someone else on the job who's curious about the happenings.
She's a mimic.
Yeah, her armor is a mimic. She is a skeleton being piloted by a mimic.
Great.
Aren't we all skeletons being piloted by mimics, man?
Intellect
Jesus.
devourers. She is a normal person. As far as you can tell, she's a normal person. I gotta keep that little extra spice
just
in it.
maintain nothing's for sure
nothing's
yet.
changed.
We have a suspect in custody for a case, not necessarily that one.
And she's standing there, shield, spear, hand crossbow at her side. Because I just hope you stopped it. That's all. The amount. And you can say she's at a loss for it. She says, "No, it hasn't gotten out that much. I mean, we're kind of all aware of the happenings now, but I just really hope you got him. That's all. It's just
Yeah, me and you both.
you're Donovan, right?"
Depends on who's asking.
She looks to the guard standing on the other side of the door, who's standing very close watch, but you can see he's like cutting his eyes over and looking. Not kind of in an annoyed way of like, what the fuck are you doing? I don't want to bore you with all the long backstory, but I was raised by my grandparents, and they read the Sharn Inquisitive every week. The moment it came out, they read it. It sat around on their coffee table all week. All of our family who came over, they sat there and read it. Everyone read it. So I read it a lot, and I've seen your stories. I remember your name. Not in like a weird way. I just and she's still saying there. Very,
I love Xavier's face. Xavier's like, "Oh, a fan? Doubt it."
says I wanted to go to Moorgrave, but they don't really have a program for like writing and journalism. So I went to join the Sharn. You don't care about that. You have something. You're catching a killer.
Hey, kid. Just say what you're gonna say. You wanted to do a program writing, they didn't have it. Yeah, go on.
And so I joined the Sharn Watch as sort of like a pseudo thing. And here I am. I guess this is considered the big leagues. I don't know. But I mean, compared to the Sharn Watch, I mean, we're anyway. Not to demean other officers of the law.
Yeah, don't do that. That's my job.
And you can see she just pauses and is sort of holding back a comment or laughter. Not sure. Will you sign the inside of my shield? You could say no. I understand.
No, I have a question. I guess you're a fan. Like, which one of my articles are you the biggest fan of?
You wrote that one about how the Boromar clan was using that one criminal organization that was made entirely of children. They were using them as informants in many of the areas of Lower Sydney. I thought that was very nice. I was in the Sharn Watch at the time. It was actually a very handy. We caught a lot of really bad Boromar people who were using those children as informants.
Is this like a legitimate fan, or am I being bamboozled right now?
Without making a
because
check.
the thing is, here's the thing: is
Am I
it
being
like
pranked?
Much like me in real life, if someone came up to me and was like, "Hey, Mr. Todd, I'm a really big fan of your work," I'd be like, "All right, fuck off, stop messing with me."
You are very skeptical at first, of course, as she starts going on and on and on and on. However, when you start saying like, "Oh, what's your favorite article?" She mentions writing the article about children used as messengers for the Boromar clan. That's a real thing. The criminal organization of children is called the Little Fingers, and they are used by the Boromar clan as pickpockets and messengers, very loosely. They're not like directly aligned, but the Boromar clan hires them as pickpockets and informants.
So, I believe this.
Yeah, it all tracks, and you don't really get any malicious or strange intent from her.
That you can tell.
That you can tell.
I'll take like one of my business cards, and I'll take like a sheet of paper because like I'm a reporter, I have paper on me, and I'll like draw. I'll sign it, and I'll just say like I'll sign it like DD. I won't write my whole name.
Double D.
And, yeah, and I'll write always reach out to the truth on it. And I'll give it to this fan.
You hand it to her, and she immediately takes it and tucks it into her armor. Says, thank you so much, Mr. Damon.
If you ever have any work you want me to read over, if I have the time, I can. The big thing with writing is always peer review. Very important.
Yes, I've heard that. Actually, yeah, I would love to. How about drinks later this week?
I knew this was going.
And you
there.
can tell
how old is this? How old is this person?
30s, 40s. She's an adult.
I will say, I'm very busy, and
Yeah, of course. Sorry.
It's okay.
And you see
It's
the
okay.
guy that's standing over on the other side of the door, and he is visibly uncomfortable, like, oh no.
I
You can see the muscles in his neck super tensed up, like...
I give him a knowing look like, me too. Imagine how I feel. And I'll just say, my office is over the Sharn Nights. If you want to send me over work you're working on, I can proofread it for you or something like that. If you need like an internship or something, you want to do some journalism, I got coworkers that would most likely be able to help you out. I can ask. Just let me know. Drop a line.
Sounds great. Yep. Good luck.
Keep up the good work.
Yep, thank you. Good luck, yes. And at that moment, the door opens as Spike.
I'm not lying. I'm sure I have coworkers.
Spike, you just said like, all right, I'll go get Donovan. The door opens. Donovan's out there having an you immediately sense an uncomfortable conversation.
I'm not giving off that it's uncomfortable.
She and the other guards are.
And as soon as I see Spike, I want to immediately like roll down my sleeves. Like, I don't know if Spike will pick up on it or not.
Make either a stealth or sleight of hand check. Spike, what is your passive perception?
17.
Hold on.
Make a sleight of stealth check.
Hold on. I got a 16.
So Spike, it takes several moments and you're already kind of just in the zone, but you see Donovan's tattoos and you clock them as familiar. And whenever you have a moment of downtime, Xavier, remind me, and I will tell you why they're familiar. But now, kind of in the heat of the moment, you're just like, oh, you see them and you're like, okay, and you move on, but they're familiar.
Oh, you guys done?
Yeah. Come on back in. Plan ain't working out.
Donovan, Spike, you both walk in and you hear the male guard on the other side of the door say, like, mumble. Okay, what the fuck was that? Really? And the door closes.
As I hear that, I kind of just go.
And you all regroup back in the observation room to this interview room, and all of you, Donovan walks back in. You're kind of having a moment of silence. You look through the glass, and he is still talking. He's just talking out to open air, gesturing around. It looks like he's having a full-on conversation, but of course, you can't hear a single thing he's saying.
All right.
Isn't it Cornelius that can read lips?
And Varian, right?
And Varian can as well.
Yeah.
And Varian? Okay.
Observant boys.
I'll infer to Varian. What's he been saying this whole time?
Probably nothing useful.
What has he been saying?
So go ahead and make either a perception or investigation check, just because you've been engaged in conversation and stuff's been happening.
Nat 20.
I can't do anything fun.
Hey man, I rolled that one earlier.
I'm just kidding.
This is my recompense.
So a lot of I think especially this is about to be a real deep cut. As a student, Varian, and as a generally intelligent and observant person anyway, but an analytical person at that, Varian has become very proficient in detecting bullshit and like being able to just pick apart fallacies, essentially. Because you know how like you walk into a class on the first day, it's syllabus day, and the professor starts talking, and within the first half of the syllabus you're like, no, I know nope, I know this bullshit, no, I know what you're talking about. It's kind of like that. You hear, or you can read the words he's saying, and it's a lot about you're wasting time, the plans are going to change, it's all going to be for naught, you're going to be back at square one, it's all just a giant waste of time, and and just all sorts of stuff. But there's so much fluff and bullshit laced into it that you can kind of see, like, that's this person's specialty. They are proficient, they are an expert, they are a master of sleight of hand, but with words. They can talk their way, make their way through anything with words. And so it's essentially nonstop talk about, I can make this very hard, I'll just waste all of your time, and, wasted time is just going to take you back to square one, it's all going to be for nothing, it's all just a giant waste of time, and, it'd be really great if you just cut, and it's just nonstop shit. But that's kind of the tool, that's the specialty of it. So even though they're not saying anything important, your analysis of what they are saying over the course of several minutes is kind of telling.
Okay, and I don't get the sense they're lying about this, do I?
Different. Make an insight check.
Oh, buddy.
Can I vibe check him again?
Vibe check. If you want to make also an insight check, you may. Anyone can if you want to.
I did not roll I rolled very poorly on that.
I guess anybody but me, because I wasn't.
Yeah, since you're coming in at the tail.
Insight, 14.
We had a 14. Xavier with another net 20.
16.
Oh my god.
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead. Have I used this yet? Yes, I've used everything. Okay, cool.
Yes, I've used everything.
Fully out of resources.
I've not used a single spell, but.
And just imagine it, Spike's just like, this guy's just talking, Spike's just on the other side of the glass with his hands up, and he's just like staring him down.
Yeah. I imagine in the one-way glass where you literally can't see what's on the other side, just these faint, glowing red lights.
Yeah.
Truly horrifying. Alan, what'd you get?
I swear I rolled an 18.
Total of 1 million?
Plus my 13.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
31?
That's what I fucking thought.
Yo, I'm glad I'm glad we have a rogue now, so I'm not the only one catching flack for rolling 30s.
Xavier, what was your total for the nat 20? I think still pretty high. Okay. Everyone else, he's just talking bullshit. Non-stop, he's talking bullshit. Spike, you can tell he's talking bullshit on purpose. You've probably ran into people like this before, that they, especially in like Lower Dura in general, hucksters and street performers, pickpockets who utilize sleight of hand. You've seen tactics like this before of just flooding the void with noise and words to mask your intentions and stuff like that. Killian with a 31. Ooh, baby. Man. You've seen this before too. You've seen this exact thing. This kind of tactic, it's sort of at either end of the spectrum. It's both hucksters on the street and politicians. You've seen them both. People who are obscenely wealthy and can talk their way out of things, and also people who are, stealing for scraps, who are able to talk their way out of things. You've seen this tactic, but specifically being able to see through the tactic, your experience with it. This deal that he's offering, it doesn't, as Logan, it's not going to help you. But you can see that this deal he is offering to make with you, it is a combination of survival. He is doing it to make sure he gets out of this as unscathed as possible. He's doing it out of, similarly, self-benefit. This deal will be in his best benefit that he can imagine. However, he's not lying when he's saying you're wasting time. If you don't take this deal, it's all going to be for nothing. It's all going to change. That's not a lie. So you start piecing together this deal will both work out in the best possible scenario for him and also for you. And if you decide to prolong the interrogation through magical means or trying to see through his lies further, whatever it is, you'll sort of maintain your own, not pride, but you'll maintain your own stature, your own demeanor, disposition. But he might be right. It might all change. And similarly, I'll go and sprinkle this in for Killian and Spike. And Jacob just left, but he probably already knows this. Yeah, criminal organizations or criminal contacts kind of operate in a way of if you're going to do a job, we will have a meetup and a meetup time. If you don't make that time or place, we assume you got caught or something worse happened and we will bail. That's pretty common from bottom to top. And so it kind of is not lying, or if he is, he's doing a very good job of it. So that's kind of what you get truly from his just ramblings about time and making this deal. And Donovan is brought back into the room, however, Jacob's gone. So I will leave it up to your all discretion.
Well, it sounds like it's not really something we can avoid at this point, right? I mean, he's been here for what, an amount of time of some sort, so I don't know. I mean, I'd be okay with torturing him for X amount of time and trying to figure out more information, but we are also in your wheelhouse, Killian. I don't know if that's something that you really into.
With nothing on him, we can hold him at most for 48 hours. But it seems like he has somewhere to be. Some possible associates to meet up with.
By then they'll have slipped through our fingers again. We need to move quickly.
Oh, Jacob, did you hear anything I said?
No, I had to go pee.
Oh man, look at Jacob paying more than I do. Basically,
Same amount. Don't get ahead of yourself.
Essentially, his bullshit is for a purpose. However, he's not lying, saying that your time is short, things will change.
Yes.
And what I added, I think, after you left was between you, Spike, and Killian, you would know that kind of holds true from top to bottom, any level of criminal organizations, that whenever they're performing a large job, there is usually a backup plan of we'll rendezvous at X location at X time. If you're not there, we assume something bad has happened or you got caught. And so whenever you start saying, like, you know, your time is running out kind of stuff, that that makes sense. Like, yes, that could be true, especially if he's working with more people. That was the only thing else I added.
Okay, cool. So I guess we really don't have any choice but to take it, kind of like what Varian said, right?
Yeah.
But just move cautiously.
Are you guys all magicked out, basically?
No, I have
No,
so
I'm
much
good.
magic.
I have so
I'm
much
fine.
magic.
I could literally tie this guy down with webs like 5 times. I could literally just shoot webs into his mouth endlessly.
I'm good on
Giggity.
spell slots.
Horrifying.
Actually, what I could do, all right, hear me out. All right, I could shoot webs into his mouth and then arcane lock his mouth, and then you know, maybe shoot some webs into his ears a little bit. I don't know. I have other plans.
Oleg, would you like to go bounty hunting with me one day?
Yes, please. I need a release. It's been a long time.
It'll
I've
be a
been trying
one shot. We'll make it a one shot.
Yeah.
A buddy
I
cop Spike and Oleg.
I look at these friends of mine, I hang my head for a moment, and I'm just like, Dog Lantern, the contract, if you will.
Yeah, we need to move fast.
And she just one moment, and she steps out and goes to get the contract.
All right, Killian, do you want to come in with me this time? Or you can go in by yourself, it doesn't matter to me. If you want to talk to him.
Do you mind if I
don't know. I was thinking.
some questions?
What kind of questions are you trying to ask, Varian?
Well, the first thing we need to know is when is his meetup time, and where is it supposed to be? Because if it's already passed, we need to move fast, pretty much immediately, or else they're going to leave. They're going to realize something happened to him, and they're going to bail. And whatever information beyond that will be rendered immensely less useful.
Would I know, like, that's kind of a dumb question, but being from a criminal organization, would I know anything about, like, the kind of correspondence times of, like, after a job or anything like that? Would there be any, like, indicator or something like that?
It's all job dependent.
Yeah, I kind of figured, but I thought I'd ask anyway. No, you're completely right, Varian. We pretty should move fast. Sorry, I'm kind of out of it right now.
It's all right.
If he's got colleagues or people he's working with, they might already know something's up. So whatever we do, we should probably all go. Just find a way to be subtle about it, you know?
I mean, I can disguise myself as him.
This guy's giving me really weird vibes, like not being able to be charmed and things like that. There's something about him. I feel like that the rest of whoever he's working with are going to be just as tough to crack. So I think that we're just going to have to figure out as many variables as we can and adjust accordingly.
Yeah.
But I guess we got to move fast.
Yeah.
What if
We need to establish our time frame, first above all.
I'm wondering if we want to do the agreement route, the signing the deal. Whenever Usid comes back, what if Usid is just there to go to the signing and asking all the questions? Because I have a strong feeling that any answers this guy might give aren't really gonna matter.
That's honestly, I think that to save a little time, maybe you should go in there. And we can, you can discern if he's telling the truth or not.
What do you mean it doesn't matter? If it doesn't matter, then Spike and I can go into back alley with him.
That's not going to solve anything, though. He's just going to be dead.
I mean, that solves one thing right there. You just said it.
We got rid of killer. I don't like getting. Let's be honest. All right.
One singular killer.
One amongst many.
We don't know how many. We could ask him many questions. It won't waste time. Just bring him along with Sky Coach.
Listen, we can't just go killing people randomly like that.
Okay. Spike and I leave him alive. And just in case
okay, the way the law works, if you coerce him by threatening him, that doesn't count.
I bring out the temporary badge and I go, "We are law."
No. It's paper and drawn in pencil.
That's not how it works.
Oleg has clearly fashioned it himself.
You're making me be pro-authority right now, and I really don't like authority.
I mean, you write for paper. What do you expect from me?
Everybody's angry about the paper thing. What have I done to you?
Like, I'm gonna like take Oleg aside for a moment, and I'm just gonna be.
When we find.
It even had an expiration date on it.
Friends.
It's a coupon for
there will be many opportunities to use whatever horrible magics and technologies you have for ending lives, maiming, dismember. I don't know, whatever you want. There will be a time for it.
Okay.
It's not right now.
It's not right now. Well, let's go do it then. I don't care.
The door opens and Dark Lantern Used comes back holding some papers. Says, "All right, got it. We just need to, once we hear the deal, fill out the two sides, and we'll be good."
All right, Killian, you wanna?
Yeah. So I'm gonna speak as Alan.
That's fine.
Who's Alan?
I guess.
Shut up.
I guess my
Alan
idea
was
is
in the bathroom.
us as a party leave the building and just already be set up to track and survey this guy. While Usid goes in, does the deal agreement, we can even give her a list of questions that we would want to ask or have asked through this, and I don't know, maybe even because it, through what Oleg has proven earlier, things happening in the observation room can be heard at a loud enough volume in the interview room. So what if we pretend to do some clash of some of us are mad that he's being let go, and then if he just sees Usid, he'll be pretty confident, thinking oh yeah, I won that fight.
I don't think we should let him loose like that.
He agreed to answer questions first.
Mm-hmm.
I think we should just go with the deal and figure out what he knows first. I don't think that we need to do that much subterfuge, and that's coming from me. I think we should just figure out what he knows and try to get some information and make some moves. If what he's saying is true, which of course I don't trust him as far as I can throw him, which is not very far, objectively. But
I'm saying I think it matters more to find out where he's going rather than what he answers within the next few minutes.
Well, we're gonna have to talk to him to figure out where he's going. We're gonna have to accept the deal no matter what.
Okay. My worry is he's a bullshitter. You can answer things truthfully and not give any information.
Well, that's kind of
Is that part of the contract? If he fails on the part of the contract, then easily I can just decide to do my part of the contract.
That is true.
What is your part of the contract, Oleg?
I'm assuming shooting him in the kneecap with a shotgun.
Killian, you ask too many questions for cop. I need you to ask less questions.
I lean down and I put my arm around Killian. I go, "You don't want to know."
You say too many things for.
I don't actually care. I have family in high places. And honestly, let's be honest here. I have not killed anybody in front of you, and I will continue to not kill anybody in front of you.
Yeah, we'll kill him behind you.
God damn it.
Stop incriminating yourself.
You look at Killian, who has an owl-like physique that can rotate his head.
Listen.
You make my head spin right round.
Go down. So Killian, we got the paperwork. How about me, you, and you should go in there and we figure this shit out and figure out what he has to say before we waste time and we lose our window of opportunity. Or at least, actually, you. I don't even need to be there. You two go in there and do that.
Wait, who two? Sorry.
You and you said.
I'll look at you, Sid. Do you wanna do this, or are you still a little?
No, yeah. If you're confident, I'll go in there and I can do a lot of the.
All she has to do is give the paperwork, really.
Yeah, I'll handle the paperwork. I'll write it all down. I'll handle that part. But and she looks at you, Killian, one last time. She says, "You're confident in this. This isn't gonna go sideways. Are we in trouble if we accept this deal? You got this covered."
Who knows?
I think it might help us as much as it'll help him. Thank you, Nobushi, for the inspiration. Yeah, that's what I tell you, Sid.
Okay. I guess any help is better than nothing. I don't believe it. Anyway, all right. Yep. Let's go. And so you go to exit the room.
Are there from the party? Are there any specific questions y'all want me to ask?
I'm gonna go toilet cat while you do that. And also I will throw the idea. I'll put the idea in my players' ears. We can either stop now. You can brainstorm questions, and we'll pick up again next week. Or I'm looking at Travis and Xavier. We can play, and we can sort of, instead of an 11:30 cutoff, we can do like a midnight cutoff, maybe a hair or two after, depending on how the questions go, and then pick up after that next week. I'll leave it up to you guys real quick.
We can probably. I guess we could probably just stop now. I feel
So we
like
can come up with more questions?
Yeah, it'd be fine. Yeah.
Travis, Xavier, what's your thoughts?
I truly don't care. I'm probably gonna stay up a little bit later anyway.
I'm fine with either one. I can keep playing.
All right. What about everyone else?
I'm also good either way.
All right, Carson, Allen, you're the deciding factors. No abstaining, yes or no. Keep going or not.
Let's call it a night. Let's have a week to think about questions.
There it is. There it is. Alrighty, I like it. Oh man, I didn't realize this session would be so intense.
Yeah.
Oleg at this point just wants to kill him. He truly just is tired, because like once he started bullshitting, I was like, are we getting any useful information out of this guy at all anyway? I would rather see this guy squirm than be happy about his decisions.
I'm gonna toilet cat and then we'll do signing off.
This guy's kind of scary. I like it.
I don't know if he's not gonna be scary once he's dead. You know what's not anti-magic? My guns.
Well, I know. That's what I was thinking. I was like, okay, anti-magic. I can still shoot him in the head.
Well, the thing is, he doesn't seem to be scared of dying, though.
I mean, that's fine. He doesn't need to be scared of dying. I can just shatter on his kneecaps.
I made a million things.
If I kill him, I can res his spirit back up as a ghost.
I have Revivify, and I have the components for Revivify. I could literally like
spend 300 gold just to fuck with him.
Wind wall his himself. Like
his family owns a bank. He doesn't care about money.
I mean, I'm not getting paid by my family. I can tell you that much. Names are sometimes worth more money than the money you have.
I want to know.
I don't know either. My dad and I had a conversation, just an insight. my father and I had a conversation about like what happens after death because one of his friends died, and he was like, "Yeah, I really hope you look forward to paying for my funeral." And I was like, "Yep, great."
Oh, you meant IRL. I thought you were talking about
IRL.
Oleg's dad. I was like, oh, okay.
No, my dad, in real life, we were talking about like, how expensive funerals are, and
Yo, I think that how expensive funerals are just really just attest to the fact that we should really be able to consent about living or not. Because, like, damn, I didn't get asked if I wanted to live, and now I have to pay to die? Stupid.
Hopefully they'll make that technology, you know?
What did I
Even
miss?
dying is expensive.
Cremate me and throw me in a creek.
The fuck did I miss?
You missed a lot. It got very deep.
God, I don't. Whatever. So I have a question for my players here.
yes, we are players.
You are players. You are currently playing D&D. We had a
No way.
week off, and we're now doing some very thought-provoking, interesting stuff right now. How would you feel about doing an After Dark with all of you for maybe half an hour? Since we were all kind of
I was gonna
waffly.
ask if we were doing that
Yeah.
tonight.
Since we seem kind of waffly about whether to end or not, what if we end but do a little bit of just talking and chatting about
Now I
stuff
miss my
after?
cat.
I'm
I like
so
waffles.
rip waffles. How would
He's
you?
not dead. He's just not
Yeah.
here yet.
Oh, Travis just
Bye, Travis.
left.
Travis said no.
All right.
Travis said, "Fuck that." Yeah.
Travis said your idea
All
is
right,
garbage.
we get it, Travis. You don't like us.
Oh, did you say goodnight? I missed the goodnight part. We're
Whatever.
sitting-
Oh boy, the format. It went back to being alright.
So again, I will stop
That's
excluding
crazy.
Alan and Jacob because Alan's doing his internship. Jacob, you have a job now. How would you guys feel about doing an After Dark?
I'm fine. I haven't started working yet.
Alan,
vibe.
Travis?
Oh, I said I could stay up to 12. I'll play some Rocket League while
Nice.
I talk to y'all.
My day starts in the late morning, so I'm fine with
You're
that.
okay
Yeah.
for a half hour or so, just to kind of chat about the session stuff. Cool deal. Sweet, let's do that. Oh god, I forget that we're live a lot of the times, just because I like playing D&D with you guys so much.
Yeah, it's fun,
I
right?
know, it's weird.
I was thinking about that whenever Rachel and you and others have been sitting in Discord while like with videos on, and I'll be sitting there for like a couple hours, and I'm like, I'm on video right now.
People have
It's
seen me
crazy,
this
right?
entire time.
Yeah.
Yes, and sorry, Richard, we're gonna throw another one in the pile, but that's just okay. More content to go through. So I guess on that note, thank you everyone who stuck around and watched. Don't forget about any inspires or things you got, guys. Record those down, and we'll be doing a Sharn Nights After Dark. And if you want to hear what we discuss about this session, subscribe to my Patreon. You'll get all sorts of cool tabletop RPG content, some exclusive VODs about some cool exercise and things I like to do, and some Sharn Nights After Dark, where we just talk about the campaign and stuff, talk about our characters, talk about some fun things. If you would like to know the answer to the question, will Bob ever find love? Then subscribe to my After Dark, or subscribe to my Patreon to get the After Dark stuff, and you'll find out if Bob will ever find love.
Did we already answer that question?
Yeah, most of you have, I think, except for Carson, so which is equally.
Oh, I remember the last After Dark I answered that
Yeah.
question.
Wait, you answered that question for me?
Everyone
It was
did. I
very
had
nice.
everyone answer. Like everyone, like I
It was me and Alan, and we were very nice about it.
I chose
Thank you very much.
questions
Okay,
that were
okay.
directed toward people's characters, but I made sure to ask everyone if Bob would ever find love from a
Yeah, we
third-person
answered in
perspective.
character.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
So it's a very good, wholesome thing, and
I like it.
and thank you.
Julian was very nice about it.
New hair stuff. Trying something new. So thank
Honestly,
you.
can we get some creamers in chat for Logan's hair?
Thank you. Get some creamers in chat. Don't forget to subscribe. It's a new month, so make sure you subscribe if your subscription went up or went out. Thank you everyone for watching, and unless work decides to punch me in the butt again, or anyone, because a few of our friends are starting, stopping, taking a break from, jumping into new jobs, whatever it might be. Work is new for everyone and for people in school. It's the middle of the semester, and I think we all know that middle of the semester is truly the worst time for anyone.
It's
Pretty
booty.
Middle of spring semester specifically is truly the worst time for anything ever. And so, barring that nothing outlandish happens in any of our jobs and work and school and things like that, good. Get those airways clear, Jacob, because
Sorry.
we should be right back here at the I saw that head shake, Xavier. The same Sharn time, the same Sharn place. Hit it, Jacob.
Yo, Sharn and shit. Am I right, ladies?
Shine.
It's terrible. All right.